curfew out there? You imagine that. But hey, good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440 AM radio on your morning drive on a Friday. Maybe you're heading out somewhere for the weekend. That'd be outstanding too. Finally, it feels like spring. Finally, it feels like spring. Yesterday it did, and today I think it's going to feel a little bit more, even a little bit more like spring. You can also watch us if you're not listening on AM radio or whatever. You can watch us on Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like, a subscription. We'd appreciate that. And we're also on X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. And then again, the streaming services, tons of them. iHeartRadio, the TuneIn app, even sports1440.ca. If you miss any part of any show, well, you can search them where all the podcasts hang out on Apple, Spotify, Google, even Amazon. Please subscribe, select the auto download. It's easily accessible, and you'll never miss a second of any show. Yeah, good morning. Welcome. Welcome to the studio, Josh Fenwick, 7:03 in the morning. Good to have you in, big fella. Let's welcome in our co-host on Mondays and Fridays, Eddie Steele, Grey Cup champion from 2015, all-decade team in the CFL and the Double E and all-century team in youth sports. Good morning, Eddie.
Good morning, KK. You can call me the plug of the year, too.
Plug of the year.
Yes, because, man, check this out. So you're talking about the weather just a minute ago and how the temps looking decent. I pull up the weather network on my laptop here, and I'm looking at the temps. I'm like, ooh, it's getting nicer and nicer by the day by the day. I see that that's the actual date, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. I'm looking at the date, not the weather. So I'm thinking, ooh, we'll be golfing.
Plus 10 today, plus 11 tomorrow,
yeah,
plus 12 on Sunday.
That's what I was thinking. Oh, man.
You know, it's
what
funny.
A goof.
On Monday, I see it, Monday, April 13th, on Environment Canada, I see it as 13. So you're correct there. It's funny that that's 13 that I got. I got Sunday going a little cooler, but whatever.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
The last time I went with Environment Canada, I got absolutely roasted by our listeners. And I was just and Dean Thorpe over at CFCW News, he said the same thing. No one ever came at him. And man, oh man, unbelievable.
They're not too off. You know, as a coach of some Timbit soccer, you gotta pay attention to the weather forecast. So you got the different one, Environment Canada, the Weather Network. There's a few.
Hey, that's another good point. Like even the kids starting soccer outdoors and everything, like the fields are too wet. There's a lot of snow still on them.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, they're probably going to be delayed.
Slushy and wet and soggy.
Yeah. And then what happens is they'll go on early and then they're just going to beat the crap out of those fields.
You know it.
So anyway, a good morning to you, Eddie. Did you have a good few days here?
KK, it's been a good week, man.
Yeah.
Been a good week. How about you?
Well, enjoyed the Masters yesterday.
It's go time.
Yeah, played a little puck. I see your guy, Hideki Matsuyama, in the SKS Masters.
He's lingering
around.
What is he?
Even? He's even. Yeah, I think he's even.
He was +1 for most of the round.
Yeah, so
Rory
with a great round. Burns with a great round. They're well underway after for round number 2. Wyndham Clark's at 2 under for the day, started at level. So he's pulled into, he's with Reed and Day and Kitayama are at 3 under, but Wyndham Clark's at 2 under with Rose, Scheffler, Lowry, Schauffele. There's a hell of a leaderboard shaping up here. I think that the course is going to play tougher and tougher. Obviously, that's how it usually is. But I think it showed its teeth in round 1 more so. I think scoring average was something like 2 point whatever strokes higher than normal and one of the highest scoring opening rounds in the last 6 years. So
favorable weather too.
Well, I think it really is. I mean, but it's going to firm it up, the course, right? Yeah, with absolutely no rain. Those guys can throw some water on at night if they want. They want a little bit, a tiny bit. They will. They
press
can.
the greens a little more day by day.
The greens there, Eddie, those are like, there's stuff underneath the greens there. Like, I mean, we're talking air ducts and everything like this that suck out the moisture if they want, and they can junk this thing up.
They can do it how they want it.
They're buying land around there, like
That's a good point, KK. That the fact that there's probably like heating lines and stuff under certain areas of the course.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of it's not the only course. It's not the only course.
No, but this is the course. This is the prestige. This is the one where
we're not talking Terra Pines here. No offense to our buddies at Terra Pies.
Oh, love to Terra, but it's slightly different.
Exactly. NHL last night, man, there were 14 games. No games today in the NHL, lady. I don't know if you saw the schedule. So 0 today. There's 15 tomorrow. They had 14 last night. You'd think they could squeeze a game in for a Friday night, play some Friday night hockey.
Thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, Seattle does the Oilers a bit of a favor because Vegas was leading the Kraken. Seattle came back to win it 4-3 in a shootout, so that limits Vegas to just 1 point. Anaheim beat San Jose 6-1, so it's done for San Jose. They put up a hell of a run. They had a great season with some young guys, just not quite ready for prime time yet.
Would you say they overachieved?
I would say that, yeah. I would say they overachieved despite not making the playoffs, but there are a handful of teams like that too, LA Kings beat Vancouver 4-1, so that sets up just an absolutely massive game for the Oilers and the LA Kings tomorrow afternoon at 2:00. The Oilers had the day off yesterday after their big win in San Jose, 5-2 on Wednesday. So they would have had a day to just kind of put their boots up and relax yesterday. They'll have a good practice today, I would imagine, because of the afternoon game tomorrow.
Yeah,
no morning skate, right? So they wouldn't have anything as far as preparation goes tomorrow morning. And so they'll have a good practice today and see if they can, you pick up a win in LA. That's a hell of a road trip. You got 5 out of 6 points. So
playing some good puck.
Well, I mean, they had
of the one
that Utah game. It was just 2 run and gun, and
outside of that,
they were wide open. They've had a few. They've been up and down here, up and down in the last.
More consistent, though, you could say. Since maybe the addition of Coffee, since the deadline,
you could say that
more consistent.
They've had their stretches, Eddie. But if you look in the last week or so, it's up and down a little bit more.
And the scary thing is about the up and down. That reminds me of flicking a switch. And man, they have the potential to go and win this sucker. That's the thing about this team is they could go and win it all.
They sure could. I mean, again, the Pacific Division and the Pacific Block bracket, if you will. I mean, there's the best opportunity that they've had since Connor McDavid's been here to get to the Final Four. After you get there, now you're up against some real beasts here, no matter who it's going to be. Like that road through whatever it's going to be, if it's Dallas, Colorado, or Minnesota, it's going to be tough. And then in the final, it's going to be tough. And there's so many teams in the East are playing so well right now. Got to mention that Utah beat Nashville. That's a big hit for the Preds who are coming on. And then also out west to speak of, the Winnipeg Jets beat St. Louis by a score of 3-2. So the Jets are still sniffing around. Still, they're at 82 points. The Kings were at 85. So the Jets really, really need a hand from the Oilers, a helping hand from the Oilers tomorrow. If they can beat the Kings in overtime, that would give a little bit more promise, a little more hope for the Winnipeg Jets. They still got to climb over the Nashville Predators, but they have a game in hand, and they've got him in row, right? So, well, not row, RW. So regulation wins. They also have him in row as well. But Winnipeg's still hanging in there. It's a big task. So
the runway's getting shorter.
4 games left. Nashville's got 3. Kings have 4. So it's a big game. They need some help from the Oilers. They need the Oilers to beat the Kings tomorrow in regulation. Did you watch any puck last night? The early games, Eddie? Because there was some. Montreal beat Tampa. It was a feisty affair. Started maybe setting the tone for a potential first-round matchup.
I like Montreal.
I do too.
I really do.
Yeah, I do too.
And they're not just a flash in the pan now. They're going to be a team for years to come.
They have a lot of their guys locked up. All their young guys. Cole Caulfield hits 50 goals. It's been a long time since a Montreal Canadian had 50 goals. But this is he never even made the Olympic team for the United States. 50 goals.
It's wild, man.
Buffalo won last night too, Eddie. So they're at 106 points. Montreal's at 104. Tampa's at 102. If you asked most people who you thought was the best team there, everyone would say Tampa.
But Buffalo's had their number.
Montreal wins too.
Buffalo, you could almost bring out the term mollywop, has been mollywopping Tampa. They've been big brothering them.
The other thing too here that's bizarro is Buffalo has a chance to win the whole Eastern Conference. They're only 2 points back of Carolina. Carolina does have a game in hand, but Text 833-401-1440. Dave, my buddy Dave Platt. Good morning, gentlemen. Any word on Dickinson? No, again. So we talked about this yesterday, Dave, that there would be nothing announced yesterday. Because the Oilers had the day off, there would be no media availability. So once they skate today in LA, we'll have more of an indication. But man, he took a pretty good puck there to somewhere in the leg. Could be back of the knee. It was hard to tell exactly where it was.
It was somewhere, calf, ankle, from the calf, somewhere along the back portion of that knee to calf area.
Yes.
Knee to ankle area.
And as everyone knows, there's no padding there. And even you could have Eddie's shin pads. You'd have no padding.
Buddy, I don't need shin pads.
If you turn those things around, your shin pads, Eddie, and turn them around, they'd look like
you do know what I'm made of.
Steel.
I don't need shin pads. Whatever. That's why I wore them so short. Ask Duke about my chin strap. I don't need a chin strap. I go out there Mighty Duck style.
Whatever. Let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne at 7:13 in the morning. Good morning, Duke. How was your night last night?
Kev, it was really uneventful, which is fine by me. I got home, watched some golf, did a few things around the house, and then settled in for a full slate of NHL games. I was watching the Buffalo-Montreal game to start with, and then bounced around a little bit before the Anaheim and San Jose game got going, and I watched that. Judd Carlson, first career hat trick.
What?
Hard to believe, I know, but yeah, he was great. The Ducks, like he's kind of pointed out earlier, for all intents and purposes, extinguished the Sharks' little playoff hopes that remained, and they snapped their own losing skid. So an encouraging sign for them as they head into the final few games of the regular season. Them in Vegas now a point back of Edmonton inside this still very tightly contested Pacific Division. So it was a good night. Nothing too much else going on, though.
Yeah, Islanders beat the Leafs. Matthew Schaefer scores 23. He scored his 23rd goal. That ties Brian Leetch for a rookie defenseman. I would imagine he's going to pot one more yet, but we'll see what happens there. Hey, I mean, we've talked Frozen Four here a little bit, but I don't know if you want to call them upsets, but Denver beat Michigan and Wisconsin beat North Dakota, 4-3-2-1 respectively. The first one went to double overtime, I think. So, so we've got, in the final of the NCAA championship, you got Wisconsin and you got Denver. So, something to watch. So the bigger news there, Eddie, is there's a player from Michigan, TJ Hughes. Okay. He's an older player. He graduates this year. He's been on the radar for many NHL teams. A lot of guys, it used to be if you could get a guy coming out of college and he's 21, something like that, say you got him at 22, but he's a little bit older. He wouldn't be, if he's going to play in the NHL, he's going to be damn near 25 years old. So a little different.
It is different.
But there are a lot of teams that are hot after him.
And I'm glad that you actually brought this up because I was going to go down this path. I wonder how the NIL is affecting hockey, if it is, because the Frozen Four you just mentioned, those are a couple of the blue bloods that are always there. I wonder if there's a trickle down effect, if players are, because you see it in basketball and football, guys are mercenaries and they're just going to go wherever for the money. I wonder if it's the case in hockey. Different culture.
Well, here's the thing. It's a drop in the bucket compared to football and basketball. It just is. I mean, there are the rare occasions, and no one really knows how much a guy like Gavin McKenna was given to go to Penn State.
There's still bucks, even guys getting $20K here and there. That's there.
Listen, I'm not denying that, but no one really knows what those numbers are. But I can tell you in hockey, because of, several reasons. Number one, television revenue is virtually non-existent in hockey. It's, there's nothing there.
That's the point.
So in basketball, obviously, March Madness is huge.
We know
football
what football is.
You
look at the networks.
It runs everything.
It's the networks, the huge networks.
So that's the bigger picture here. It increases, but I mean, there's rules now. They might be having rules where you can go to NCAA after your CHL career if you so choose to. So you're basically turning into a career student.
So I was going to then bring up the point. I wonder if there are going to be more mature guys coming out older into the NHL, the more 23-year-olds and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, each team's going to have to navigate this the way that fits them the best. For the Oilers, they don't have any draft picks. So let's use Oilers in Vegas as prime examples here. They've traded away all their picks. They have nothing. There's nothing in the cupboard. so to speak. But they go the route of trying to find guys over in Europe. Josh Szymanski's perfect example. That was one of the guys that they targeted. They signed him. He's worked out so well. Quinn Hudson's another that came from NCAA.
Who'd they bring at the beginning of the year? They released him?
David Duke, the Czech guy, Tomaszek.
Tomaszek, yeah.
So he was an older guy. So what you're doing is you're throwing 5-6 darts at the board, and you're hoping one of them hits.
Right.
Yeah. Tomaszek just didn't, and they were high on him, and he wanted to give this a whirl. Then the opportunity it presented itself to him, but he didn't take advantage of it. So text 833-401-1440. Should mention the Masters round number 2 is underway, and Clark, again, he's birdied the second hole, he's birdied the third hole, and he's birdied the fourth hole. So he's he's behind McIlroy and Burns by a couple of strokes here. Tied with Kitayama, Day, and Reed. We will keep you up to date on there. Lots to talk about as far as football goes. Maybe we'll touch on that with Eddie. Couple things. We've got the drafts coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We had several other things as far as notes go in the NFL. It's one of those days where it's exciting. It's a Friday, Eddie. Plus, it's playlist Friday, Eddie. Do you have your song in?
I don't.
You don't.
But man, I can't wait to get out on that course and see Fenny stick 170 with his 9-iron.
Actually, it was a 7-iron, and it was 175 to 180.
I'm jabbing him.
We know it's not happening, but that is.
I'm looking at the Masters list, so I really have golf on the mind.
Oh, really? When we come back, hey, Duke, it's a little different, eh? You just wanted Eddie and I to kind of run the.
I missed Eddie too much, so I wanted to give him the full first.
I was going to say, you must be busy back, because I tried to toss it over a little bit to him, but he.
Well, normally we have a guest, though, Eddie, at 7:20. But now it's just going to be a little yakking.
But even in our open segment,
I knew we wanted to link up with somebody from down in SoCal, checking on the Kings here ahead of the final playoff push, and who better than our friend Dennis Bernstein?
Yeah.
But Pacific time zone wise, the way the rest of the show had already fleshed out, it kind of only even getting Dennis up at 7:20, I thought might be a tough ask. But he was more than game for it. There was no him and Han. And as a result, I didn't want to. I wanted to give Eddie lots of FaceTime, just you and him in the studio. So I figured we'd give us an open hour here to open things.
Plus, we got lots of time for in or out at 8:40 to go over the 9 o'clock, because I see Eddie's not dressed well.
Oh no, we're at 9 sharp, baby. Hey, Duke, fellas of KK stature and above, they're up by 7 in the morning, buddy.
No.
Yeah, they're up. If you know what I'm saying.
Mark Spector will be with us at 8 o'clock in his usual slot. He's going to be hurt. Eddie's got 2 ski days out at Marmot Basin. There's no way. This is an old.
What's hurting, the liver or the back?
Both, and the quads probably.
Legs. Oh yeah, the quads, hips.
Well, everything with him. There's nothing.
He's out there with his wife.
Yeah, but she's not skiing.
Yeah, but the hips are hurting.
Oh, that is offside, man. As mentioned, Dennis Bernstein from the fourth period. He'll be by at 8:20. We've got Cam and eggs, and now Cam said he was going to send it to me. Duke, he never did. I think
I have it in text form.
I have it in text form too, so I'll have to read it off my form.
I guess so. Well, and listen, we got time. Cam, Cam also usually he'd ask me what time we're only going to run it, and I kind of told him we'll mix it up. But he says I'm up by 7 more days than not. So there's a good chance it could still come into our inbox.
You got to read this, KK, with a good voice.
Well, I'll try.
With a good voice too.
He gave me some directions and whatever, but I'll do my damnedest. Mike Wilner from the Toronto Star and the Deep Left Field podcast will check in at 9:20. The Blue Jays back at it after a day off. They open a set against the Minnesota Twins at Rogers. It'll be Patrick Corbin on the hill for Toronto. Simeon Woods-Richardson goes for the Minnesota Twins. Also on the big program, Liam Harobin from Oilers Nation. And then it's Friday. That means it's golfing with the G-Man. Gary Meyer, our debut for the season. We didn't book a guest today because it's Masters, and we've got plenty to talk about. Gary is as adverse as anyone to talk about holes of golf. And we're going to bust down Duke had a question yesterday in or out. Which hole would you, if you could play one hole, take it back to your backyard, and your backyard was the size of the hole, and you could do with it whatever you wanted and play it as many times as you wanted. Which hole at Augusta National would it be? So we'll discuss that with Gary coming up at 10 bells. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440. Again, it is Feel Good Friday. It's Playlist Friday. If you got a walk-up song, an intro song, send it our way, 833-401-1440. Get them in, the Duke will get them on. The Kevin Karius Show with Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports. Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
Mr. Rooter sees a UFO.
Mr. Rooter says 1 plunge, 2. What's this? A UFO? An unidentified floating object. It's beginning to glow and levitate.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter. You have freed us from the gravity of the white hole. Humanity will be spared.
Wow! People aren't going to believe this when I put it in our new commercial.
If you want to believe in a plumber, call Mr. Rooter.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
Free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
A double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value. For a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Start thinking spring road trips and off-road trips in your new Subaru Crosstrek. Stylish, rugged, and so many features. Standard on every Crosstrek. Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive, EyeSight driver assist technology, heated seats, and LED steering responsive headlights. Plus, with interest rates from 0.99%, you'll love the affordable weekly payments. No waiting, immediate delivery available. Subaru Crosstrek. Visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and you'll notice something different about our store compared to the new RV stores. Our lot is full, bursting at the seams with quality used RVs for you to see. The new RV stores, well, their stuff is trickling in. For the most part, they're taking orders for trailers and motorhomes to be delivered at some future date.
At No Bull, you can take yours home right away. Right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. Every RV on our lot is ready to go. Bring your truck and you can take it home with you. You could be enjoying the great outdoors this weekend if you want. And because every RV on our lot is one of a kind, it's worth it to take a look around. It's not like we have 20 of the exact same model.
That's what the new RV stores look like.
Not here, Bob. Every single one is different. The perfect used RV for your family is probably on our lot already. Why not pick it up before someone else does?
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca. Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 727 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele with you on a wild Friday here as we head into the weekend. We got the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you in studio as well. NBA last night, the Toronto Raptors beat Miami 128-114. Brandon Ingram had 38 big ones. That's back-to-back wins over the Heat for Toronto. And good to see him above that six-pack cut line, as I say. You want to be
forget that play in.
That's just bad news waiting for you at the finish line.
That's very well said.
You know who said that line? That was Joe Carberry's line. He was an old chuck wagon announcer, and he would say something to the fact, "There's Jason Glass. Oh, he burns a barrel on the inside, and there's bad news waiting for him at the finish line."
Nice.
There you go. Duke, you and the con man had your little fake mock draft for the NFL yesterday. How did it go?
First edition. It was. We normally get through 2 or 3 of these every April before draft weekend comes up here in a few weeks. So this was the first edition. And listen, there's some spots where you kind of look at it and say it seems obvious or consensus, but starting with the first overall pick, I think in particular Fernando Mendoza. But yeah, it's always fun because listen, teams always go off the board at some point, and then that changes the entire dynamic of the first round, whether that happens at pick number 8 with the Falcons taking Michael Penix, or later into the first round when a team goes deeper into like where projected third round guys from the D line or offensive line, whatever, right? So it's an effort in futility in terms of prediction wise, but we take some texts from listeners that are fans of certain teams and get their opinion on where they think their team's area of needs are and play that into our choices. Declan's going to join us next week to do it, to change it up a little bit. We change the format every time. And it's a fun exercise to do once a week here leading up to the draft.
Fellas, I would like an opinion from both of you.
Sure.
So how would you guys, if you're the head coach of the the Vegas Raiders, handle the quarterback situation? Because is it going to be best man up, or are you going to have the youngster? Because it's a foregone conclusion. I'm assuming they're going to take Mendoza number 1.
I would say it is. Yeah.
So is Kirk Cousins going to have the reins here? Or is it going to be a competition? Let the youngster learn? How do you guys think this is going to play out?
So for me, if you think that Fernando Mendoza is going to start quicker or sooner than later, he gets absolutely every rep going forward camp, as many preseason games as you feel that you want him to play. Because if you think you're going to start the season with him, let's get him going. Like I want him having every rep, every first team rep, as many preseason games as you think, and he's playing with the ones all the time. If that's the case, you know what you have with Cousins. So if you don't think that Mendoza can be your guy coming right off the hop out of the chute, is what I mean, sooner than later, like right off the hop is what I'm saying.
He's your guy.
If you think he's your guy, he gets all of that. If you don't, then you handle it differently, and he doesn't see as much ones and whatever reps and things like that. And then you go that way with Cousins.
Duke Douglas?
Where you're at that, but
yeah, I think it'll really depend on Mendoza in camp, and I think he will get all the first team opportunities in training camp and in some preseason games, of course. But if he doesn't appear comfortable yet, then Kirk Cousins will start the season. It's not going to be a matter of Cousins is there as a safety blanket or a bona fide backup option. Like he will have. I don't know if he's going to have the chance to win over the starting job, but if Mendoza does not win it himself, then Cousins is there lying in wait to keep the seat warm for him. And does he start 1 game, 2, 3, 4? Well, that's to be determined, I think, on how the Raiders season starts. And for Vegas, I think in this draft, you got to make some serious moves to upgrade this O-line. They've done some through free agency already, but continue to bolster that, because if you're talking about your last 2 or your last top pick and your expected top pick this year, a running back and a quarterback, what hope do they have without an O-line in front of them that can actually keep them upright and keep them moving forward. So that's going to be priority number one. And then if you can address that, then all of a sudden I'll hear conversations about Mendoza starting week 1 this coming NFL season.
Well said, Duke, about the O-line. I love running backs out there, but boy, I would never draft one in the first round. I love me a running back, but I would never draft one in the first round.
Running back?
I'm sorry, all you running backs.
A lot
listening.
of people think like Jeremiah Love could go number 4 overall to Tennessee.
I know. Both those Notre Dame guys are getting a lot of praise. 1-2, essentially.
I'm going to ask you this, and maybe then Duke, you can weigh in after Eddie. So, Eddie, in my mind, this draft is this. I'm going to compare this draft, and I shouldn't say that because people are going to be all over me. But to me, I feel like this is a Nail Yakupov kind of draft year. I'm not sure what we're getting here. So if I'm at the top, and maybe not 1, but if I'm 2, 3, 4, something like that, I'd have less hesitation to drop down and say, someone else, you can have this. We're going to navigate something later. And maybe, you know what, like say you're, I don't know, let's just use Arizona because they got the number 3 pick. Some people think they could, Arvell Reese is there from Ohio State. I mean, the edge guys, Bailey and what's his nuts, the guy with the short, Ruben.
Yeah,
Bain
out of Miami.
Okay, so maybe that's the direction. But to me, would you not want to look at maybe going down the road, Eddie, and saying, flip me something good, and I'll give you a 3 or a 4 this year? Just because, as I said, look at that draft, the Nail Yakupov draft year. There's not a lot at the top. Nothing really worked out, did it?
Kevin, I would mostly agree with you about the draft. I really would. Yes, there's the hype around Mendoza, and there's the big names. There's a few big names, but it doesn't seem as surefire, as stable of prospects. I'm with you. Yeah. I'm totally with you.
Duke, where are you at?
It'll be interesting to see how the depth guys, too, in the later rounds play out. Because, of course, there's ballers out there. But it just seems the high-end prospects, I don't know. Are we wrong, Duke?
I think more so a lot of the defensive players stand out as legitimate difference. Like talking about Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, David Bailey, as you mentioned, Kevin, out of Texas Tech from the edge. There are concerns around Ruben Baines, but I think they're largely a little like you were just nitpicking in his arm length and can he be a difference maker at the line. I think a lot of those players are legitimate. Now, do we have we know it's a weak quarterback draft, right? If there's a second QB that goes in the first round, it will be surprising. Maybe with the exception of at the end of it, a team trades down or trades back into it to grab a guy, a bit of a project in Ty Simpson or Garrett Nussmeier, whatever it may be. But it's the NFL draft. There's always going to be impact players taken at the top of it in the first round, regardless. And later, of course, as well, we've seen some real gems taken with mid-round picks. Now, is there a guy that all of a sudden at the end of his rookie season, we're going to be talking about the way we did Puka Nacua or some of these legitimate guys that are knocking on the door of some history with like Brock Bowers? No, I can't see that because I think most of the best players in this draft are probably on the defensive side of the ball.
And maybe I'm wrong to compare it to that 2012 draft with Yakupov, but if you look in the top 10 of that draft.
Oh, it's pretty tough sledding.
I mean, I don't know. There's
nothing wrong with saying it's a weak draft, man. That's what it is.
The top 10 of that draft right now that's still left, and that's a long time ago. The best player probably is Jacob Trouba.
Do you have the first round in front of you? Is he the best player out of the first round? Who would you say is the best?
No, well, it's Vasilevsky. Okay, Andre Vasilevsky, who went 19 overall.
Who else went? That's relevant.
Hampus Lindholm.
6th overall. I mean, Griffin Reinhart was.
So there's a handful.
Was 4th overall. Riley was 5th. So, I mean, Reinhart was as bad as it gets. Riley was 5th. Dumba, a good career, but it's not like, we're talking in an NFL draft in your top whatever 7, 8, 9 guys. You want that guy to be with you for a cornerstone for a while.
That's a franchise changing player.
Yeah. Text 833-401-1440. It is Playlist Friday, Feel Good Friday. We got quite a few texts coming in already. The Oilers will take on the LA Kings tomorrow afternoon, and we touched on the standings in the Pacific. And that 1 point that Vegas picked up, it's valuable, but it's not as good as 2, obviously. So the Oilers with 90, Vegas has 89. Anaheim has 89. Vegas has Anaheim on regulation wins, 28-25. So that's the difference there. Also last night in the NHL, Ottawa beat Florida by a score of 5-1. So the Sens are rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit over Philly, 6-3. And Buffalo shut out Columbus, 5-0. Columbus, the runway it's disappearing on them, but they still got a chance to catch Philadelphia. They're 2 points back of Philadelphia. They're not going to catch Ottawa, but they could catch Philly in the Met.
And when we come back from the break,
What about
I have a question for you about the Canadian teams remaining.
The Canadian teams that are remaining, who's going to go the furthest?
Yes.
Well, why don't you just ask it now?
I was going to let it wait, but you totally killed my tease. I was going to let that just marinate a bit, but thanks, Mr.
Sure, let's
Mr. TV.
We'll talk about that when we come back. Which Canadian team is going to go the furthest?
Don't play
Brought
me.
to you by Eddie Steele.
The real deal.
What's that?
The real deal.
Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne, and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. Looking for a solid 4x4 that checks all the boxes? The 2026 Jeep Compass is in stock now at St. Albert Dodge, and this is a great value, starting from just $36,900. It's a Jeep, so you've got 4x4 capability, plus features like an 8.4-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, active lane management, a park view rear backup camera, and more. Over 30 in stock right now in just about every color you'd want. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
This jersey was worn by the legend himself, signed and everything. You can't just wear it. I'm framing it with expressions and images.
Your prized jersey deserves better than the closet. Think expressions and images. Your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson, and I'm joined by a very important member of our team, Jody. She coordinates our crew and job packages for all furnace replacements, air conditioner, and heat pump installs.
And Dennis, I've got to say, our installers really are the best. They've all been with us for a long time, and we never use subcontractors.
So you know that whomever is in your home is a Weiss Johnson employee, not someone hired out just to get things done. So the next time you need us, ask for Jody.
Always happy to help.
Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
It's happened again, and construction season is coming soon. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
The Karius Show, breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams, even though his favorite Junior A hockey team is the Yorkton Terriers. Thanks for checking in with Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:42 in Edmonton, Playlist Friday. That's the Duke's personal playlist request. BA. I don't know if I like that song either, Duke from BA. There's only 2 or 3.
Stop that.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry,
Stop that.
Kevin. I'm sorry that you don't like
What's the
good
one?
music.
What's the one that
You like
What's
with
it?
Mel C.
Mel C?
Let's cancel him from his own show. Stop that.
Well, how about this? 10-10 Ken text in.
Oh, good old Kenny.
Yes. Stop comparing hockey drafts to football drafts. You can't compare small pools of 18-year-olds to a larger pool of 21 to 25-year-olds. If you can't find starting talent in an NFL draft into the 4th round, that's on you as an organization. Now, did we even discuss that 10-10 Ken? What we said is some drafts are weaker, some drafts are stronger. This draft is weaker. The 2012 draft in the NHL was weaker. The question was to Eddie, to Duke, and we discussed, would you trade down? Would you get rid of one of those 2nd, 3rd, 4th overall picks? That's what we're comparing it to, 10-10 Ken.
And my answer is yeah.
Again, this is a weak. Duke is saying it's a weaker draft. You're saying everyone, experts 100 times smarter than us in the room here, are saying this is a weaker draft. Next year, it's a stronger draft, especially for quarterbacks. Do you set yourself up for more potential for 2027?
Now,
that's the comparison, 10-10 Ken.
Now, 10-10 Kens, 10-10-10, however we go here. What is it, 10-10 Ken? To the point, I do love when an organization works their butt off and finds talent deep in drafts and finds really good players in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. I love that, man. When you find these gems. And some organizations do it consistently. Any sport.
Detroit was infamous for it back in the day, picking up guys like, say, Pavel Datsyuk, Henrik Zetterberg, very late. And you know what Ken Holland said about it? Come on now. That's what he said. Come on now. You think that if we didn't know that these guys were going to be Hall of Fame players, we wouldn't have taken them in the 1st or 2nd round?
Right. Guys just hit.
We hit. Exactly. Think about all the guys that the Oilers drafted over the years, and you find gems that are later on. Guys like Kelly Buchberger that was drafted late, plays 1,000 games in the NHL.
And in principle, you're thinking everyone's going to be a Hall of Famer, but that's not the reality of it.
Okay, Eddie, did you have a question for us before the break?
Was there a question? I don't know. I had a tease, but boy, did you ever flop that out there for everybody. Blew it up right in my face.
Yeah.
Live radio, baby. So, Montreal Canadiens.
Mm-hmm.
The Habs. You have Ottawa Senators.
That's right.
And then you have the Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think goes deepest?
Well, it's an easy question to answer, Eddie, to be honest with you, because it's the Oilers without question, because they have the easier path, easier route. They would have the easier 1st round matchup, whoever it may be. Right now, I mean, Montreal could be playing Tampa Bay. They could be playing Buffalo in the 1st round. Nobody knows yet. Or if they win the division, they could be playing Ottawa.
If playoffs started today, it would be Montreal, Tampa, and Carolina, Ottawa.
There you go.
If it started today.
So both Canadian teams could be gone in the 1st round there. Those are tough opponents. If the playoffs start today, the Oilers are playing Utah.
Now, there's a lot of buzz around the Sens. There's a lot of buzz. They're a wild card team, but as a whole, they've a pretty good team. And they say that the underlying numbers are good around this team.
So why was it, Duke? Remember we had Speck on? It was like right after the Tkachuk thing, and that was the last straw for Speck and Frank. And they both said that Ottawa would miss the playoffs. And that was about a week ago? Not even, 10 days ago. Something like that. Because there's too much outside noise. Olmark says, I can't play. Tired. Can't play.
The podcast with the Tkachuk.
Everything. All these things are coming into play. Too much outside noise. Captain's quit on the team. Captain wants out. Olmark doesn't want to play for the team.
That captain doesn't quit on his team.
That's what everyone's saying.
That captain doesn't quit on his team.
Hey, Eddie, that's what.
And I feel you. I'm just saying that point.
Now, guys go on TSN and they say Ottawa's the best. Oh man, oh man,
the scariest
they
team.
Have changed their tune 100 times this year. Like Craig Button has said Ottawa was not even close to making the playoffs. Now they're going to win the Stanley Cup. Same with the Oilers. No, they won't make the playoffs. Now,
Butts is in and out like a what?
He's in and out like a fiddler's elbow, man.
Holy, make up your mind.
I like Craig.
I feel you, though.
Yeah.
I feel you.
He is in and out like a fiddler's
I'll say this about Ottawa. You and I have been hoping for Ottawa to be successful since we started this program. I will say that. Yeah. I know that we've both been wanting this Ottawa team to be good. All the Canadian teams, but there's something about this Ottawa team who's been stuck in the middle for a long time. And getting back to their captain, whoever, like, the pundits that talk about him and the people that, he doesn't do the smartest things, of course, but the day and age of players is different now. The people want to have podcasts and be heard and have all the extracurriculars. They want the clicks. They want this. And that's the whole thing. Yeah. And that's the outreach. And that's the availability of the modern era player. It's just kind of hand in hand with society. But you look at the on ice product, man. That captain, he reminds me of Mike O'Reilly, the way he leads his team. He's going to fight and claw and do everything for his team out there on the ice. Text 833-401-1440. Greater Man Jay says, they're all a bunch of flip-flops, can't stick to their guns. They're like weathermen. Matt and Leduc, who wants to be a writer for Gene Principe. What has he got today? Talking about late picks. Some people have the mistaken opinion that late round picks are pretty irrelevant. I love it. Well done, Matt. There was one, I think it was last Friday, that was a little, I don't know, X-rated or something that you never read it to me off air. I wanted to get to that. I can't remember. Lance says, if it's a weak draft, how can you trade down? Who would trade up? Well, there's always GMs that want to trade up. You will always find a dance partner. You will, because their organization has told you, Lance, as a GM, let's make a splash. Let's do something. And that's a fact. Teams want, like, say Pittsburgh. All of a sudden someone says, you want the draft in Pittsburgh? And I don't know where Pittsburgh's picking. Do you know Duke offhand? I'll check right now. I got it. They're a playoff team. So 21. 21. Yeah. Now you tell me if Pittsburgh, someone says to Pittsburgh, you want to move up to 9, 8, 10, 11?
See, I actually think Pittsburgh's a candidate to maybe do the opposite. Okay. I could see them trading down because at 21 yesterday in our mock draft, I had them taking Ty Simpson. They need a quarterback moving forward. He's not going to start this year. We expect Aaron Rodgers to be back. There's things that make sense there, but picking him at 21 does seem like a reach. Now, do they trade up in the first round to get a better defensive player or something, and then in turn also move down in the second round, kind of hand in hand in how they accumulate picks to get up? There's lots of different things that can happen, but I definitely think there are more candidates to trade down, as you said, Kevin. But at the same time, there are teams that they look at their draft board and say, there's a guy we really like, and if I can get up to move up 5 spots, 8 spots, 10 spots, even whatever the case, to get him in the top 10, top 15, they'll do it. Like each scouting room has different opinions. It's not consensus across the board on these players. Like a guy like Reuben Baines Jr., some people are putting him as like a do not touch because his arms are too short, whereas others still say this is a legitimate difference maker at the D line and just went to a national championship game with his team. We want that guy in our clubhouse. So it's that's what makes it scouting. It's not the same opinion across the board. And the thing with this weaker draft, sure, you could trade down, Duke, and you might not get high end picks in return. Trade your first and you get, a third and a fourth back type deal just to accumulate picks. But the thing is, you can accumulate these future picks and then flip them for another higher draft pick down the road. So it's all about playing the long game as well. Duke, are you agreeing with the question that Eddie had before we skip to football here for a moment about the Oilers having the best chance to go further? Oh, for sure. And if for no other reason than the two that stand out, which is they've been to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. It's essentially the same team. We know they play their best hockey at this time of year. That's the first and foremost. And the second, look at their route. They have as close to a punch your ticket type pass to get to the conference finals inside that bracket as anybody across the league because the Pacific is the weakest division. So here, full stop. So the question should be, Eddie, which team has the second? The second. Which then narrows it down to two options. Montreal or Ottawa. So who's going to win the first round? Montreal or Ottawa?
As you said, Ottawa is going to play Carolina.
In Montreal, Tampa.
Yeah. If it's stayed.
If it started today, I would go with Ottawa. I think Tampa, it's a tough out. Carolina.
Is that what you'd go to, Duke? You'd go Ottawa over Montreal to win a first-round matchup? You'd say Montreal?
You'd go Montreal to beat Tampa?
Everybody just forgets about Carolina, and they've had some goaltending issues this year, but Busty's been mostly good. Maybe Kochetkov comes back, and you don't have to play Anderson. Like, they're the best team in the Eastern Conference. The points tell us so. Now, is their division as good as the Atlantic? Maybe not, but it's not a slouch. It's not the Pacific. So I like Tampa. They're probably still going to be my pick to come out of the East, but I think Montreal proves a much tougher test than what Ottawa presents, who, by the way, have had no shortage of goaltending struggles themselves this season.
Who do you think gets coach of the year here? I mean, there's so many guys. I mean, Dan Muse in Pittsburgh. This is a team that most people didn't think would make the playoffs.
So they're going to be a bottom feeder.
They're going to get 100 points this year. I don't know if Lindy Ruff in Buffalo, because, we can argue that to death. Maybe does a guy like, you could look at Marty St. Louis.
I was going to say that as well. Is there a minimum amount of games coached? Like, say a coach gets fired and stuff.
Well,
Eddie wants to give the Jack Adams to
let Torch
John
walk
Tortorella.
away with it. No, but seriously,
coaching a week.
If a coach came in midway,
the one guy we were talking about was Rick Bowness. But if they don't make the playoffs, obviously he doesn't have a sniff there, and he won't be in because he's only been there for about half the year. I mean, Colorado and Dallas. Maybe it's a Glenn Gulletson. Maybe he gets some votes.
But the thing is, all these staple teams, they are who we thought they were supposed to be, right? They're all Dallas, Colorado, Edmonton.
Tourney's a guy that's a sleeper guy in Utah.
It's got to be more of like you say Pittsburgh is a good one. It's got to be a sleeper, not the front runners and the consistent front runners year over year.
Yeah, Muse is a good pick for me. To be honest, if you look out west, I don't like anyone in the
Why
Central.
why do you say not Ruff?
Well, he's been around forever.
But what they've done. Look at the season they've had.
Yes.
Especially with the start to the season, and now like they're a runaway train.
Maybe he's a finalist.
Duke, what's your coach's name? Who's over there?
Quintovsky. No.
In
in
the Ducks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You said Sharks.
Yeah, no. So, like, you could even talk him too.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Not the Ducks. They stink.
You got anything to say for yourself, Duke?
They stopped a little bleeding.
They stopped the bleeding. That was step number one. And we know this is a streaky team, Kevin. They've been streaking all year long. So they just come out of a tailspin. Now, do they get on another little mini run here into the start of the playoffs? As a fan of the team, I'm hoping so. They looked really good last night defensively, but so did the Oilers the night previous. Take that for whatever it's worth. The opponent was the Sharks. So
I just got to check something right now. I got a text came in, and this is a pretty. Actually, this slipped by me yesterday. It slipped totally by me, and I should have known this, but it slipped by me. And a text comes in from Travis. Hey guys, big shout out to Edmonton's Cameron Hughes scored his first NHL goal yesterday with Dallas. So this is a guy that played for Spruce Grove for the Saints, 29 years old, went to the University of Wisconsin. He was drafted late round pick by Boston, has bounced around the American Hockey League for the last 5 years, called up to Dallas and scores his first NHL goal. He's played 4 games in the NHL, a 29-year-old. So his mom, actually, Pauline Hughes, was very prevalent on the Edmonton sports scene in many capacities with the Rush back in the day, with a lot of Edmonton sports teams and stuff like that.
Good for him, man.
That slipped by me, man. So
good
congrats to
Shout out Cam.
Yeah, congrats there.
One of many.
Thanks for that text, Travis. That just went right by me. Normally you see stuff, and
I'll be honest, it's not that hard to slip something by you, buddy.
Coming up at the top of the hour. Mark Spector it's going to be great to talk to someone other than Eddie here. Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. I would imagine he's at the Love Shack. I'm going to tell Spec what you said about him and his hips.
The hips don't lie.
Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by All Star Construction. They shape and build Edmonton communities, specializing in underground utilities like power, gas, telecommunication, and street lighting. That's All Star Construction. Here is the Duke.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Busy night in the NHL with 14 games, all with some playoff implications. The Islanders keep their slim chances live with a 5-3 win over Toronto. Sabres blank the Jackets 5-0 Habs over the Lightning 2-1. Cole Caulfield scored his 50th of the season in the victory. The Sens stay hot with a win over the Panthers 5-1. Dylan Larkin with a hat trick. Red Wings double the Flyers 6-3. Penguins punch their ticket to the postseason with a 5-2 win over Jersey. Jets over the Blues 3-2. Hurricanes top the Hawks 7-2. Stars beat the Wild 5-4. Avalanche over the Flames 3-1. Mammoth beat the Preds 4-1. Sharks fall to the Ducks 6-1. John Carlson with his first career NHL hat trick in that victory. The Kraken come back to beat the Golden Knights 4-3 in a shootout. And the Kings, they beat the Canucks 4-1 in the nightcap. In the Frozen Four from Las Vegas, a couple upsets as Wisconsin beat North Dakota 2-1. And number one seeded Michigan, they fall to Denver 4-3 in double overtime. Over in the association, half dozen games there. The Raptors beat Miami for a second straight game, 128-114 the final. Brandon Ingram leading the way with 38 points. Elsewhere, Indy over Brooklyn, 123-94. The Knicks top the Celtics, 112-106. And the Lakers, they get by Golden State, 119-103. In the majors, it was a light day with just 6 games total. Miami beat Cincy 8-1. The Yankees get blanked by the Athletics 1-0. Mini over Detroit 3-1. The D-backs top the Mets 7-1. Royals blanked by the White Sox 2-0. And Colorado falling to San Diego 7-3. Round 2 underway from the Masters at Augusta National. Sam Burns and Rory McIlroy still tied atop the leaderboard from yesterday at 5 under, but Wyndham Clark, the big mover on day 2, as he's 3 under on the day through 6 holes to move into a tie at the 3rd spot. Canadian Nick Taylor holding steady. He'll tee off at 10:44. He's currently T11 at 1 under. Coming up in hour 2 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spector and Dennis Bernstein from the 4th period. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Mr. Rooter sees a UFO. Mr. Rooter says 1 plunge, 2. What's this? A UFO? An unidentified floating object. It's beginning to glow and levitate.
Thank you, Mr. Rooter. You have freed us from the gravity of the white hole. Humanity will be spared.
Wow! People aren't going to believe this when I put it in our new commercial.
If you want to believe in a plumber, call Mr. Rooter.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
It's like a locker room, minus the smell.
Ew.
Kevin Karius brings the banter, the buzz, and the bold sports talk. Weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Sports 1440, Edmonton's home for sports.
Hi, everyone. Sarah
And Neil,
from Arcan RV.
we are back, and we're celebrating spring with Arcan Days.
Well, we were always here. We've been around for 49 years.
That's true. We're kicking off another amazing RV season with some huge deals, showcasing our new brand, Cougar, Raptor Toy Haulers, and Coleman Trailers starting at just $17,999.
Plus, special finance rates on remaining 2025 models with an extra $2,500 trade-in credit. Check out arcanrv.com for details. Connecting you to RVing since 1977.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 8:01 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele with you on a Friday morning. Feel Good Friday, Playlist Friday. The Masters is on. Duke had it on his little personal device over there behind the monitors. Wouldn't share with anyone.
True.
Yes.
Yesterday, I told Kevin, I said, I can probably get TSN Plus up on the TVs here and we can watch the bonus coverage that's not on the cable channels. And he said, I think we'll survive for an hour.
He brought it up at 9:30 in the morning.
Get real.
Time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. The playoff push is here, but in April at Northgate, there's no pressure, no giveaways, no phony prizes. Just a good old-fashioned deal. See more at northgategm.com. As we welcome in Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. Good morning, Spec.
Good morning, Mark.
Gentlemen, boys, what's going on?
I mean, I got to start where Eddie's going to have to say it right off the hop.
What do I have to say?
Okay, well, you're still, what time are you leaving the mountains today? Are you leaving it after this, or are you skiing?
I don't know. Checkout time's probably around 11, so we'll play a game of cards, have a cup of coffee, pack her up, and get out of here.
Game of cards, Spec.
I said to Eddie here, Spec, about half an hour ago, I said, well, Spec's been skiing in Jasper, Marmot Basin, for the last couple of days. I said he's got to be stiff as hell. I said his quads and da-da-da-da-da. And Eddie said, go ahead, Eddie.
The hips. I said, your hips must be stiff.
The hips.
And why, Eddie?
And because you're out there with your wife, baby.
That's terrible.
We know you're not playing cards this morning.
I'm not even going there with you donkeys.
Anyway, how was it yesterday on the slopes?
Actually, you know what? I took a day off. Instead of skiing yesterday, we walked around town, went up Pyramid Lake. Just did like what normal people do in Jasper. It was actually kind of fun. I didn't ski for the second day here. So I don't know what to tell you. It was nice and sunny here. It's a beautiful day. Walked the dog.
Nice dinner. Good for you.
First people of the whole season to have a cold beer on the Legion patio. I thought that was quite an honor.
Is that right? They
even made their Facebook page, guys. I think I'm famous.
How was the town overall, or how has the town been? Is it pretty jumping? Good amount of people?
Yeah, no, I mean it's midweek in April, so I wouldn't say it's jumping. You know what they have here? They're doing it up at Marmot. Actually, they got quite an industry going here with British schools. They got all these British schools, like the private schools, coming here and skiing. So there's a whole bunch of kids around town with British accents, and they're nice and polite. You know, walking around town, big group of kids. So anyway, it was fun. Had a great, beautiful time here. Town's in good shape. They're rebuilding slowly, gentlemen. We drove through all the, what would that be? The east-west side of town that's kind of burned out, and they're plugging away over there. It's a big job.
Yeah. I mean, I remember seeing all the pictures from Jasper Park Lodge golf course, Spec, and seeing the golf balls that, were recovered months and months later that were basically melted.
No doubt.
Oh, it was unreal.
Yeah.
There's still your balls.
You don't get over that fire like in a year or two. It's a big deal here. And trying to build in the mountains is difficult. You can imagine trying to get all the materials in here. Like trying to, whatever a house costs in Edmonton, I'll bet you it costs 30% more to build one here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, there's a lot going on, man. But they're plugging away. Jasper's turning back into Jasper again. It's a great place to be.
Mark Spector with us on the Kevin Karius Show with Eddie Steele on a Friday morning. Hey, you were just talking, I guess, with Gregor too, and sent some things out about the goaltending situation with the Oilers for tomorrow's game.
Yeah.
We saw what happened the other night with Connor Ingram, etc., Tristan Jarry. Just maybe your thoughts on what you think we might see tomorrow afternoon in LA, Spec.
Well, I mean, I guess the good news was they didn't immediately send for Calvin Pickard yesterday. They're going to, apparently Ingram is going to practice today, and then they're going to make a decision on if he'll be able to, I assume if he'll be able to back up. If he starts, I mean, I'd be surprised if he started, put it that way. But I would say to you that if he was outright injured, they'd have, Cal Pickard would be already in LA because he's just up in Bakersfield. It's a drive down. So That's good news for the state of the Ingram injury. Now from here, let's see what happens. He's going to skate today, and if it's up to me, if I can't play him the rest of the season for him to be ready for game 1, that's fine with me.
Yeah. Eddie, you got anything, or do you want me to continue on with Spec?
Yeah, no, I was wondering if there is, and you guys may have chatted about this yesterday, any insight, idea, potential thought on what even occurred with Ingram? Anything?
Yeah, there was a video out there. Actually, Dusty Nielsen
yeah.
had it. Did you see it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's very innocent looking, isn't it?
Yeah, he just comes across his crease. He comes across his crease, pushes off, gets to the other side, kind of has a weird finish to it, and then you can see he starts to look like a guy who's testing something out. What is it? I don't know. Is it a groin? Is it an abdominal? Is it? Who knows, man? I don't have a hot clue what it is, but there was video of it, and it was very innocent. And sports, man, sometimes you just get hurt.
Tweak.
You get run over by a truck and you get up and walk away, and sometimes you come across your crease and get injured. It's crazy.
Yeah. What'd you make of last night? I mean, Vegas gets a point, but they don't get 2. And obviously Anaheim gives it to the Sharks, and, their runway's pretty well done, but we still got a hell of a race here. It's going to come right down to the wire here in the Pacific, Spec.
Yeah, the Sharks kind of fizzled out in the end, unfortunately for them. But they're close and they're good. They need a little more. They need some work on their defensive end of their game for sure. And Anaheim, I mean, listen, if I'm Edmonton, there's 3 games left and I'm in first place. Why aren't I trying to win? Like, you're trying to win every night. Like, I think you got to reverse engineer this thing again. You don't wake up and go, we're going to get first place. You wake up and say, we're going to try to beat LA on Saturday. And then you say, we're going to try to beat Colorado on Tuesday. And then you got 1 game left against Vancouver. So, you want to get your game together for the playoffs. And I think if you play, what do you got? 6 points left. If you play real good hockey, that means you're going to get 5 of them. And I'll bet you if you get 5 of them, you end up in first place in the Pacific. No?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they went out, they got first place. They hold their own destiny.
Right.
And it's safe to say that they'll be facing Utah most likely.
Well, yes, if they win the division. Yes, if they win the division.
If they win the division. Yeah.
The test will be that last Vancouver game, because let's say that it's a meaningful game. Like, obviously you're going to be in the playoffs by then, but let's say that you got to win that game to get first place. But maybe you don't. Like the Oilers rested a bunch of guys last year at the end. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be the trick for me. Do they come out with if that gets down to game 82 and they need to win the game to win the division, and they rest a bunch of guys, then you know what they think about winning the division. So
I don't think they do that at all, Spec, just because of how the games are spaced out here. So they had 2 days off here going into LA tomorrow. They're going to get home on Saturday night at a very reasonable time. They play Monday, then they got 2 more days off. So I think the schedule is just right for them, and all those games that they piled up and stacked up earlier, it's helping them out now.
Yeah, that's fair. And when would playoffs start? They play Vancouver Thursday.
The playoffs for them would start probably on Sunday.
Sunday or Monday,
I would say.
Yeah. I would imagine.
Sorry?
I would imagine like there will be some Eastern teams that would start Saturday night. Those teams would probably, I haven't looked at that part of the schedule, but those teams would have played on Wednesday. So they got the 2 days off. They'll start Saturday. Some of the teams that are finished, like the West, like the Oilers, finish on a Thursday. They'll start Sunday.
Yeah, the league doesn't want to give up a Saturday night to open their playoffs. They're opening their playoffs on a Saturday night for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Edmonton may not be part of night 1, but some teams will, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. And if history repeats itself, the past couple of years, Edmonton started significantly later, if not even. Some Eastern teams had played 2 games before Edmonton played their first. So it'd be on the Monday, most likely, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing is Edmonton opens up. Well, if Edmonton opens at home, we're a Canadian city that would tend to leave our building open for the whole weekend. And they could, there's only one pro team playing out of this rink. So they'll be able to put the games wherever they want. It's when you have to open in LA that you get trouble. Right, because you got the Lakers in there, and they probably have concerts in there that they put in there ahead of the Kings even. So that's the difference. If you're opening at MSG, you take what you can get. When you're opening in Edmonton or Ottawa or something, you can usually find the dates that you want. Right.
Mark Spector with us from Rogers Sportsnet. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele with you here on a Friday morning. Eddie?
Yeah, Spec. I wanted to just ask you, because, of course, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Do you watch golf at all? Are you tuned into the Masters yourself personally, or could you not give a crap?
Oh, yeah, no. I like the Masters for sure. I mean, it gets a little syrupy at times on CBS. I'll give you that.
It's a tradition like no other, Spec.
Exactly. Like sometimes it's a little overwritten, if you know what I mean. But I love the Masters. Like, it's such a great course. It's so traditional. We've watched it for our whole lives. Shelka went shopping yesterday. I came back for an hour and a half and watched the Masters. It was a great way to spend a nice couple hours in the middle of a Thursday afternoon. So, yeah, they'll be on the TV as soon as I hang up on YouTube, jokers.
Hey, you know what, Spec? I just got a text from, and this, I didn't see it last night. I just got a text from Pauline Hughes. And I think you know Pauline. She in various organizations for many, many years in Edmonton. But maybe you missed it too, but I got a text from Travis and said, what a night for Cam Hughes. So Cam was called up to Dallas, and he scored his first NHL goal last night.
Oh, did he?
He scored his first. He's 29 years old, Spec.
Oh, my goodness.
Drafted by the Bruins in the 6th round, 2015. He played for Spruce Grove, then went off to play college. Pauline just texted me right now and said it was a moment. Very exciting for him and Dallas, and to think he's considered old at 29. LOL. It was only yesterday, it feels like, when he was running around Rexall at work with me.
Oh, man, that gives me chills, man.
So I'll be honest, Spec. So when Grant Fuhr was our co-host, as you know, in the first year here at Sports 1440, Grant was and still is doing color for Coachella Valley. And at that time, Cam Hughes was playing for Coachella Valley. So we talked about him quite regularly. I'm just looking that year when Grant was our co-host and Cam Hughes was playing in Coachella Valley, 25 goals, 32 assists, a hell of a year. Then he goes to the Texas organization, and he's been with the Stars in the minor leagues, 23 goals last year, 16 goals this year. Called up, and he scores his first NHL goal in his 4th NHL game.
Isn't that great? Here's a guy, I think I got about 9 years in the AHL that he's played.
Yeah.
A 6th round guy that never quit, never said, it's not for me, right? Slugging it out in the minors all these years. He's got, like you say, he got 1 game in 1 season for the Bruins. The next year he got 1 more game, probably played about 7 or 6 minutes. And this year he's got 2 NHL games. He scores a goal. That must have been unbelievable for his family last night in Dallas. I should have been watching.
And I got to thank Travis. Some of these times, they played. It was a big game last night, but we were focusing on the races more, even though that Minnesota's going to take on Dallas in the first round. But that's just we're going to try to get we'll try to get Cam on the show next week at some point to talk about this, because it's a hell of a story for sure.
Well,
Should get him in that spot.
Quinn Hughes scored a goal in that game, and then Cam Hughes scored a goal in that game. So even strength goal from Blackwell and back. So good for him, man.
That's just
look it up. I'm gonna look it up and watch the highlight when we're done.
Yeah, I am too, because again, this is something that just slipped by me. And I'll be honest, I hadn't spoken to Pauline for years. But so I said, I wonder if I still have her number. I said to Eddie. So I look, there it is. Bang. I text her, good morning, Pauline. And she said, she texted me right back and said, long time no hear, no talk, blah, blah, blah. It's just a great story. And
probably didn't sleep much last night.
Oh, so that's in Edmonton. Played in Spruce Grove in 2013, 2014.
I love that you read her text.
Yeah.
As a parent, that's cool. You're so proud of your kid. They're in the minors. You're so proud. But then when this happens and you see them accomplish that true pinnacle, score a goal in the bigs, what a moment.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, and like we all, I've known lots of hockey players, man, over lots of years. And certain guys, that's their career takes them to where it takes them. And once you're 29 and you played, I'm going to guess, I'm not doing the math on air here, but he's played about 500 games in the minors or more. I think you go, okay, you know what? I thought I was going to be a star when I was 18, and I'm not going to be a star, but I'm making a nice living and I'm going to work hard, and I'm, who knows? Maybe I'm going to end up in Europe but I made a nice living in the game. And even though people like us look at it and go, man, you didn't play in the NHL much, whatever, you go try to make a career in the AHL. Like it doesn't happen for everybody. You got to have something. You got to be good. And then to get a shot and get up there and notch a goal and get your name in the NHL, what would Ken Holland say? The guide and record book. They can't take that away, man, from Cam Hughes. That goal is going to be there in the NHL annals forever, and good for him.
And I look at it too, as you said, 29 years old. This is a guy that I'm trying to think of an equivalent in the Oilers organization, and maybe it's, I don't know. Well, Josh Brown's played way more, but they have Josh Brown at Baco to nurture guys like Atro, like
what about like a Derek Ryan in the past?
Yeah, but I mean, Ryan came to the NHL, played 500
games. He played a lot.
Yeah,
but guys, he was older. He was older getting to the league.
Like Spec, you'd say there's so many guys. Every organization has guys that they signed that are 28, 29 years old. You're going to be in the minors. We know that. We need you to help develop our players.
Yeah, sure. And if you become well respected and you play the game the right way and you're a good teammate and you become a real leader down, in the minors, you're right. Teams want you, and frankly, they'll pay you a lot more than most of the other AHL guys are making because that's your role.
You get a little extra.
For sure. The Oilers have done well with that. They've had, that's why when you send a guy like Matt Savoy down and he spends a season down there, he learns the right things, right? He learns the right things. He learns how to play the game, and he come up here and you can see it. That year in the minors, man, Matt Savoy became a way better player. And if your minor league team doesn't have a few Cam Hugheses around it, that might not happen.
Hey, Spec, excellent stuff. Just one more quick one of the Oilers. What would your concern level be with Jason Dickinson here moving forward?
Well, I don't know. Big if he can't play.
Yeah.
Big if he can't play. They didn't practice yesterday, so there was no news. They had a nice day off. Yeah. The team played in the team actually didn't stay in LA. They stayed out in Marina Del Rey. So everybody got a little bit of a beach time. They practiced today at the Kings facility, the Toyota Sports Center. And that's what we're going to find out here. If Dickinson's practicing, if he's not, how hard does Ingram go? Does he face all the shots? Let's figure that out. But Dickinson's become an important guy around here, man. I think that Stan Bowman, you can never erase the Jari trade. That thing's on his record forever, and it may be their epitaph at some point. But I'll tell you what, he did a lot of digging out of that hole when he got Connor Murphy and Jason Dickinson at the deadline.
All right, Spec. Maybe go for a couple quick spins today. Eh? Just do some. Just a couple.
Might spin down to the bakery for one of those bear claws.
Hey, I know the bakery you're talking about. I know, Spec.
Have a good one.
All right, boys.
Travels back, and we'll talk to you on Monday. Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet. On the Mark, brought to you by, powered by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This truck's for you. Check them out only at northgategm.com. Well, Eddie, you're starting to watch the Masters here in studio?
I'd make the cut.
Eddie, okay, we talked about this, and I forgot to ask Spec because, I wanted to get to the Hughes thing, but there's a media draw. You know that at Augusta? So all the guys from across the world that cover the Masters, they're there and they put their name in the bucket. And if you get drawn, you get to play on Monday. Same pins.
Yep.
Same everything. A day later, it's not cut or nothing.
You didn't do that, did you?
No, I wasn't working when I went there. However, the tees, they move the tee boxes are way up. Way up because, guys are
pretty much in the fairway.
Well, I don't. They would be the forward tees.
Yeah.
The forward.
I feel you.
Yeah. Anyway, Cam Cole, who used to write for the Edmonton Journal for many years, one of the best sports writers, the business has ever known. Phenomenal. And he could write golf. He wrote it all. Anyway, he was drawn, and he got drawn twice.
Ooh.
Because he covered the Masters a lot. And Cam's older now, but he was a really good golfer. And I think he shot 79.
Oh, wow.
His best.
That's really clean.
His best. And I don't know what his handicap was.
That is really
at
clean.
the time, but 79 he shot. So
considering Scotty Scheffler just put a 70 up yesterday.
Yeah. And again, we're probably knocking off a couple thousand.
For sure.
Yards. I don't know.
For sure. But still.
I don't know what the total length is here
That's
today.
really clean shooting.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember what golfer was talking about it the other day when on the whatever hole, and and it was 510 yards. It was a par 4, and they were playing it in the practice round, and they were at the very front, and they went 510. Well, we know we're not going to be teeing it up here, and once the bullets start flying, so they're going back another whatever. So
at least 70.
Oh, unreal. 8:22 in Edmonton. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts. 833-401-1440. It's the Kevin Carey Show with Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick here on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Fast track your financial goals with a special rate term deposit from Vision Credit Union. For a limited time, take advantage of a great rate on 1, 3, or 5-year terms. Plus, as a Vision Credit Union member, you can earn up to 25% more on your interest through profit shares. For details, contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca. That's visioncu.ca.
Looking for auto parts without the dealership price tag? You'll save big here at Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock. From engines and alternators to doors and glass, we carry quality tested used parts at unbeatable prices. Why spend thousands when you can spend hundreds? Keep your car and your budget running strong with Ed's Auto Salvage. I'm Lisa, inviting you to stop in soon or visit us online. We offer province-wide shipping and daily delivery to Edmonton. edsautosalvage.com.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
I'm off its headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, the MVP you didn't know you needed. For all your plumbing needs, go to mrrooter.ca as we welcome in Dennis Bernstein from the fourth period. Good morning, DB. You're with KK and Eddie Steele, the Grey Cup champion from 2015. As always, thanks for coming on Sports 1440, big guy.
Well, it's an honor to talk to Eddie, and I guess an honor to talk to you as well, Kev, I guess. But, Kev, I'm sad. It doesn't look like Kings Oilers round 5 is going to happen in the first round.
You never know yet. You never know.
Edmonton's favorite LA guy may not be appearing for the first round. It's really tough.
I'm going to miss you, big guy.
Likewise.
Remember those even in the final. So saw you like how many years down the first round, then see you for the final. Yeah. Remember all those jokes I would tell you at the media avails?
Terrible jokes. Oh my, that I can't use on the air at all. At least give me a few jokes I use on the air, Kev. Come on, I can't.
Dennis, I can relate. This guy, he'll come out of left field with the most random jokes.
I'll be honest, Dennis. I told Eddie the same joke that I told you. And you know what Eddie's response was? It was this. Well, the court of public opinion will have something to say about that.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Good morning, fellas.
Oh, good to have you, Dennis. Hey, how different of a team is this LA Kings team under DJ Smith rather than Jim Hiller?
For the last 3 games, they're different, Kev. That's a 3-game winning streak that now they control their destiny. They actually have a magic number. Their magic number, I believe, is 6. So they can even lose to the Oilers tomorrow, win the last 3 games and get in. Here's how they're different in this stretch. And it's a small stretch, a small sample size. Most of the time under DJ, it's been the same as Hiller. Here's what's changed the last 3 games. Scoring is up, right? The stars are producing. Adrian Kepi has 8 goals in his last 6 games. The goaltending's been good enough. Defense, still shaky. Give up too many odd man chances. But they're winning anyway, and there's no style points at this point of the season. So that's why they're in the position they're in. I think what happened was Right? They didn't fix their identity. They just abandoned it long enough to win games and now be in a position to get to the postseason.
Do you think down the stretch here, there's been some, the inner talk with Kopitar being done? We don't want to see him go out like this. We want to see him go out in the playoffs.
Well, it didn't work when Dustin Brown left, right? He lost to the Oilers, I think, in 5 or 6 games. So I don't think that matters. Because I asked Kopi about it when it didn't look good about, I don't know, like with about 7 or 8 games left.
Yeah.
I said, have you come to the realization that these could be the last 7 games you'll play in the NHL? He goes, I don't plan on playing just 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it motivated Kopi. I mean, he's loved in the room, don't get me wrong, but I think when you get on the ice and you're trying to defend Connor McDavid or, Elias Pettersson, you're not thinking about, is this Kopi's last 6 or 7 games? So I don't think it really factors in that much.
Yeah.
Now, Dennis, if the playoffs were to start today, the matchup for the Kings would be against Colorado Avalanche. Colorado has had their way with the Kings all season, beating them 3 times this year. Do you see any way in a world that the Kings can beat the Avalanche in a 7-game series?
No, Eddie. 4 out of 7, no. But even if they go out in 4, and I know some fans say, well, they should miss the playoffs. It's never bad to make the playoffs, Eddie. Right? Never is. Like, I don't care. It's not. So if they lose in 5 or 6, pound for pound, the rosters don't match up. They'd have to go on an incredible heater. Forsberg or Kemper would have to stand on their heads. Now, Colorado kind of ride the ship. When I watched them play against Vancouver last week and they lose 8-6, and well, maybe. But that maybe is maybe 1 or 2 wins. I think that will be an accomplishment for this team. They're not in the class of Colorado. They're not a Stanley Cup contender. So I don't have a formula that would have them meet the Avalanche, other than a lot of aggression from the Avalanche and the Kings playing way over their head. But again, given where they were and how poorly they've played this season, and there's been a lot of regression. You're talking about a 20-point standings regression, Eddie. For them to get to the postseason, I think it gives the organization and fans more hope that with a couple of moves in the offseason, maybe they can get the contender status.
But what about the fact, Dennis, that, the Kings are in every game, so they have that opportunity. Like, have you ever seen a team that has just as many overtime or shootout losses as regulation wins?
No, they set records this year for most overtime games and most overtime losses. But you don't want to set the overtime loss record because the offense wasn't good enough. Now the offense is better with Panarin. Al said this about Panarin. I watched him on the package when the Rangers are playing, but to watch him every game, Kev, like he's dangerous 2 or 3 times a game without question, sets up goal scoring opportunities. He's patient with the puck. He is a superstar. He really is. He came in not knowing any of these players' system, and he's a point-a-game player through 22 games, right? So it's difficult to say at this point in time, but the offense has been better. They've been more aggressive. They're now forechecking people, and I think why they lost those games, Kev. I talked about identity, right? They'd get to a 2-1 lead, especially at home. Couldn't get the 3rd goal to extend the lead. Then they'd get passive. Then they give up they give up a goal, and they'd make a mistake either at the end of a game, because I think they've lost like 15 or 16 games when tied after 2. It's not just the overtime games. It's like they're losing close games all year. Yeah. They take a bad penalty. They can't kill the penalty because the penalty kill has been bad. So it's been a couple of different things. So you say, yeah, they're close, but if a good team wins those games, not every team loses 19 overtime games, Kev. So it hasn't been a good season for this team yet. There can be some redemption if they do get to the postseason.
Mm-hmm. Eddie?
Dennis, you mentioned earlier the roster. How would you evaluate the season that former Oilers GM, current Kings GM Ken Holland has had this year?
Well, he gets an A+ for getting Panarin for 2 more years and giving up a prospect in Green Tree and a 3rd round pick. That's an A. Probably a B for me, and a B for Perry, because Perry played well when he was here, and they did get a future 2028. He gets a D- for Dumoulin and Ceci. And that's all fans want to talk about is Cody Ceci. And I know 2 guys who live in Edmonton, you've heard it about Cody Ceci. And I've said, yes, he's had an underachieving season. And I get it. They paid him $4.5 million a year for 3 more years. But when the cap's going up to what it's going up to, it's not consequential, right? I can't think Cody Ceci will play as bad next season as he did this season. But, and I say this to fans, and some fans don't want to hear this, you should be good enough, and the Oilers were good enough to overcome subpar play by your sixth defenseman, which is what he is. He's not their first defenseman. He's not playing top pair. Now, they did him for they got him for physicality and for penalty killing, and the penalty killing is 31st in the league. So it hasn't been good. So I think overall, I'd probably give Kenny like a C+ because he is responsible for this team regressing 20 points. Remember, going back to the original press conference he had here, he said, look, it's a 105-point team. I want to improve this team on the margins. So he didn't bring in impact players. He brought in support players when he probably should have brought an impact player in the off seasons. But I think that the Panarin trade raises that grade to probably a C+, B-.
Dennis Bernstein from the fourth period, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show with Eddie Steele here on Sports 1440. Quinton Byfield, Dennis, is he playing better down the stretch?
Yep, he woke up the last 3 to 4 weeks. The problem is, Kev, they needed him 2 months ago. Yeah. He started too late. Now, here's the bigger question, Kev. Kopitar's retiring. If you put him up with Kempe and Panarin, if that dude doesn't get 70 points playing with those two guys, then you got to trade him. So when people, like a lot of people are fed up, they see the underachieving, they see what Stutz was doing in Ottawa and saying, trade him for Pettersson, which I wouldn't do. Trade him for Thomas, which is what I would probably do, right? But I keep going back to this one comparable. Tage Thompson didn't turn to Tage Thompson until he was 24 years old. Byfield's 23. You got to give him one more year with those two players, and if he doesn't do it, then you move on. They still need centers. Scott Lawton's been fantastic for this team. Oh, they needed this guy. He cares. He plays with passion. He's been really good. He's got 5 or 6 goals as a 3C, right? So Byfield, he's showing signs. He's in the 92nd percentile when you talk about speed. He's still big. He has to shoot the puck more. And the one thing I said, I thought they should have put him with Panarin and Kempe to start with and make him a shooting center. He's not a great passer. He's too focused on the puck when he plays. He doesn't think 1 or 2 plays ahead. But when you have a guy like Panarin on the line who's a great facilitator and distributor, all Quinton's got to do is go to the net. That's why Kopitar's scoring goals all of a sudden. Why? Because Panarin's on the team. So with Byfield, it hasn't been a good year. It's been underachieving, but you got to wait and be a little bit more patient for this guy because you don't want to trade a guy too early with those skills, knowing you have those 2 great wings potential to play with him next season.
Mm-hmm. Dennis Bernstein with us on Sports 1440. How much does this team miss Kevin Fiala, Dennis?
If they had Fiala and Kuzmenko, who might come back from a meniscus tear, they would be in the playoffs. They wouldn't be sweating life or death. They would, they might be in first place in the division. So they miss one because they give them another threat. And that's the one thing. Let's say they had Panarin in the playoffs last year. What they never had, Kev, was a counterpunch. So when Connor and Leon would score, they never had a guy to answer. Now they have a guy to answer in Panarin along with Fiala, because Fiala would have given a scoring threat on the second line. You probably would have put Kuzmenko on the third line. So as much as King fans, a lot of them don't want to hear it. If you had those 2 players, you'd have a more legitimate team. I'm not putting them in the class with Colorado or Dallas or Tampa Bay or Buffalo, but it would have helped a lot. It would have given him another threat because he's another facilitator, and he would have helped off the rush as well. So, yeah, it's a big miss not having Kevin in the lineup.
Mm-hmm. Now, despite those 2 players that you mentioned, Dennis, and we know that the looming retirement of Kopitar after this season, what is the missing ingredient or the special sauce that can help this Kings team get over the hurdle in terms of, maybe having a deeper playoff success?
Well, Eddie, they'll need another center next year, and I don't know how to get it because remember, like last summer, we were talking about all those guys that are going to hit free agency as centers, and there's nobody. They'd have to. I think Kenny would have to swallow hard and overpay for a guy like Robert Thomas in St. Louis, and I'm not sure they're going to trade him anyway. Find another center. But what they really need to do, Kevin, Eddie, is they only have 1 puck-moving defenseman in Brant Clark. Their left side is Mikey Anderson, Dumoulin, and Joel Edmondson. 3 guys who can't move the puck. They need to reconstitute their defense next season. They need a puck mover on the left side. And the guy would probably trade that has the most value. You can't trade Dumoulin, hasn't had a great season, just got there. You're not going to trade Mikey Anderson. He's probably a lifer here. The guy I would trade would be Joel Edmondson for a puck-moving younger defenseman. That's what they really need right now. So they'll need a center. They'll need a puck-moving defenseman on the left side. And then you got to decide about your goalies because they do have goalies in the pipeline, right? Other than that, free agency isn't going to be great, but those would be the 2 major moves that Kenny Holland has to make in the offseason to get this team closer.
Hey, Dennis, here's a question for you from our text line. I've already written my pick down to Eddie from Walt on our text line. Ask Dennis who the next captain of the LA Kings will be.
Adrian Kempe, because he signed on for full freight. He signed on for 8 years. You got to reward him. He speaks in the room. He's vocal. He'll speak during losses. Look, Mike Enos is my pal. He would be probably a second choice, and he hasn't won a letter. But the fact that he signed on when this team wasn't going well, you have to give him the C. Yeah,
I agree too. I mean, new contract kicks in right next year for Kempe.
Yes. Yep. He's the guy. He's the leader.
He's around till forever. So
yeah,
I would think that would be the most logical choice. I would say, and I mean, Drew Doughty's just fine where he is. Right, he continues to wear
he's
the
got one more year. Who knows what's going to happen after that? And Drew's he's just too emotional to be a captain at this point. He doesn't care about that stuff. I know Drew really well. He doesn't care.
Do you think that he comes back for another year after that? He'd be 37, or he'd be a 38-year-old, I guess, for 27, 28. And does he come back and play for $2-3 million or something like that?
Yeah, it'd have to be on the Kopitar plan, right? He wouldn't. 2-3 million, probably maybe 5. I don't know. I think he'd probably go year to year But here's the thing, Kev. Even next year's the last year of his contract. He can't be leading the defense in time on ice. It's got to be Brant Clark. I know Brant Clark doesn't kill penalties, but you can't have it like Drew 23 minutes and Brant Clark 20 minutes. Brant Clark's their best defenseman right now. He's got to be the guy right now. But Drew loves living by the beach. Why not? If the team's contending, and that's I think the bigger question, Kev, is not the money or if he wants to play. Like, where's this team going to be after next season? Are they going to be a contender, or do they regress further and they become a 500 team? Then Drew, because Drew's legacy's set, right? He's nothing more to do. Like, he's just a dude. He doesn't spend a lot of money. He's not extravagant, right? So I think it'll be where this team sits right now because he still wants to win.
Hey, what kind of game do you think we're going to see tomorrow afternoon, Dennis? It's I guess 1 o'clock local time start, right? 2 o'clock here. So what kind of game we going to see? I mean, the Oilers got a lot of injuries right now, and goaltender was hurt and banged up the other night. We don't even know who we're going to see in goal. Dickinson was hurt the other night. What do you think we're going to see here?
I play the over because I think there'll be a lot of skating, a lot of scoring. I think defense will be at a premium tomorrow. So, and that's the way the Kings are playing now. They're being more aggressive offensively. So I think that, and I assume that Forsberg is going to play. The mystery with DJ Smith, I press him after every game. Like, Forsberg's been really good the last 3 games. And, well, you're going to plan. Like, how can you – I asked him last night, how can you tell Anton that you're not going to play today with only 4 games to go? He goes, well, it's a management decision. I'll sit down with Mike Buckley, the goaltending coach. And he, 2 games ago, he said, this is Darcy Kemper's net. All of a sudden, it's not Darcy Kemper's net. So I expect a high-scoring game. I'm surprised, Kev, you didn't ask me who my Hart Trophy #1 is on my ballot right now.
Who you got, Dennis?
Go ahead, Dennis.
Okay, so I've been dancing. Like, I set this up since January. I have a spreadsheet, and on my spreadsheet, I have each of them, and I vote for 5 awards. One's the Hart. I have never had McDavid won until
now
the San Jose game.
You got him at 1.
What are they 6-1-1 without Leon and Zach? Right now it could change again. I'm probably not going to put my final ballot in until the last game because I get 2 days after the final game of the season. But based off that performance and based off who's not there and who's in net and they're still winning games, that I tell people, you remember that game? Yeah, Macklin scored first, and then Connor said, "Okay, watch me." That was an incredible game. So I'm leaning towards Connor right now because Kucherov, sure, right? Maybe they win the division. Maybe McKinnon, there's so much talent around him. Celebrating, no, because they're not going to make the playoffs. So not by default, but that game really changed my mind. Like, he might be, if he's not 1, he's 2 right now. And it's just you see in his eyes, Eddie, like that game you saw, like he goes, I'm going to take control of that.
He was that's the word. He was in control of the whole game.
Absolutely dominated. You look when he scored the goals, you look in his eyes. He feels it right now. So, and I think the fact that Leon isn't here, what's the award mean? Most valuable to his team. If they win the division, it's hard to make the case against them right now. And I know people have heart fatigue for Connor, but I don't care. I have no dog in the fight. He's been that good down the stretch, and that's very important.
No, he said, get out of the way. I'm busy. That's what he said. So, more importantly for me, I want to know who you got number 1 and 2 for the Norris, Dennis. If you've got your little spreadsheet going, let's hear that.
Werenski 1. I think McCart 2 at this point.
Really?
Yeah. Bush is on the ballot, but I can't get him any higher.
I don't know, Dennis. I'll be honest. I had Bouchard at 4 a little while ago. Then I had him at 3. Then I had him at 2. And I'll be honest, right now it's a coin toss between Bouchard and Werenski. And if you are like in the same thought process, and I think you got to take it this way.
Well, if they don't make the playoffs, yeah.
If Celebrini doesn't make the playoffs and isn't on the Hart ballot, why should Werenski be on the Norris ballot if Columbus doesn't make the playoffs?
Look at the rest of that defense. The fact that they're close, Kev.
Look at the rest of the Oilers defense.
It's the best all-around defenseman, though. Zach's a little better defensively than Bush is. So, but Bush deserves to be on the ballot. And look, that's why there's 157 voters, right? Like, so whatever I say, really, it adds to it, but it doesn't matter. So we'll see what the group says when we get to June.
Good stuff. Dennis, enjoy the game tomorrow afternoon. I'm sure we'll talk once the playoffs get rolling here.
I'm sure. Always great being on 1440, boys. Appreciate the time.
Appreciate you. Dennis Bernstein from the fourth period, our headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter, keeping you out of the penalty box. That's mrrooter.ca as Eddie takes a quick gander over at the clock.
9 sharp.
I just don't see it happen.
Guy's got a jet, man. I got an interview.
Yeah, but they wait for you.
No,
this isn't live.
No. We got players.
Not live.
We have a player.
Not live.
We have a player.
But not live.
This is live.
No, it's
us
not.
bickering.
When we come back, we're going to go in or out. But I got to tell you what happened on this day in Oilers history too, Eddie. And I got to show you as well. Kevin Karius, Eddie Steele, Duke of Delburne, and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Do you have neck or back pain? Ever go for treatment hoping for a simple fix only to realize your stubborn spine is basically a science project with attitude? Hey, we get it. And honestly, we're a little sorry because great rehab does take proper experimenting. But at Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we don't just toss exercises into the beaker and hope it doesn't explode. We start with the right diagnosis, then mix hands-on care, precise manual therapy, and evidence-based technology. The formula your body actually needs. Science and skill with gratitude, not attitude. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
With the lead up to the playoffs underway, players are definitely stepping up their game.
And the fans are doing the same. Simple snacks like chips and dip may work at the front half of the season, but now more and more fans are rocking the Wilhauk beef jerky for game time get-togethers.
Just make sure you bring enough for everyone if you want to be invited back for the playoffs.
Make your next hockey game day a Will Hockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't win games with salad.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Spring into savings at The Brick. Refresh your home with huge discounts. Save up to $1,800 on sofas and sectionals. And buy more, save more. Up to 25% off bedroom and dining furniture. Dreaming of better sleep? Upgrade your mattress game and save up to 40% off select mattresses and score free delivery when you use your Flexity card. Plus, save 15% when you buy 2 or more select major kitchen appliances. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, proudly Canadian since 1971.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a deal from Legacy. Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Your game, your station. Sports 1440.
And watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Big program 847 in Edmonton. Time now for In or Out. Brought to you by Pro Solutions. If you need fast air conditioning service, quit looking at the clock, Eddie. Pro Solutions offers expert repairs, tune-ups, installs with flexible financing. Book your appointment now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke. Letterbuck.
Oilers with another off day. They'll be back on the ice, despite reportedly staying in Marina Del Rey, according to Spec. That was a fun little tidbit. They'll be back at it tomorrow against the Kings from the Crypto.com Arena. A matinee affair for the Oilers to win the Pacific Division. They have 3 games remaining on their schedule. They will need at least 4 of the 6 available points up for grabs.
Oh, yeah, probably in for sure here.
For sure.
I mean, does Vegas play Anaheim one more time, dude?
They do not. The remaining schedule for Vegas is tomorrow against Colorado, Monday against Winnipeg, and Wednesday against Seattle. The last 2, I believe, are the home games, if I'm reading this correctly. And Saturday, they are in Denver. For Anaheim, they are at home against Vancouver on Sunday, and then road games in Minnesota and Nashville to round out the slate.
It's going to be tough. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 of 6 for sure. They're only a point up.
Yeah. And here's the thing too. I think they got to beat LA tomorrow. They got to beat LA. I don't care if it's in overtime or a shootout, but they got to beat LA. But if LA were to beat the Oilers in regulation, now that complicates things a lot here.
Then you're in one.
Yeah. That complicating, because then the Kings would be 3 points back with the game in hand. And all of a sudden you're going, ooh, here we go.
Now, with that being said, that's us talking. I think the team has made it clear, at least through Connor's lips, they don't care where they finish.
You might say that. These guys.
You think they do?
Well, I can tell you what, Daryl's texting Connor and saying, I would rather finish first to have another home gate, please.
No
Connor.
doubt. No, I'm with you on that. I'm with you. They should finish first. It's been since the 80s.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want to?
But they've proven it doesn't matter.
I just think you want home ice.
I would think you would too. And you can talk about, as the players not really caring about, winning the division, anything like that. You haven't done it in 40 years.
Yeah.
Like at some point from an organizational perspective, is there a little bit of pride to shake that monkey off the back? And even if you only win it once here and then you go back to finishing second and third and however many years to come, like, come on, just get that checked off of your list, if nothing else. So 4 of 6, I think, should get it done, because if we just, roughly forecast that's the same that the other 2 teams are going to do, 4 of their remaining 6, you have the 1 point edge, you have the tiebreaker, so there's a little bit of leeway. It does give you some room for margin for error in your chase for the Pacific Division banner. Tomorrow's opponent, the LA Kings, they've climbed themselves back into a playoff spot, currently occupying wild card number 2 of the teams still vying for that final seed in the Western Conference. I think it's Kevin Karius's long shot Winnipeg Jets that could pose, I should say, the biggest threat to the President's Trophy winning Colorado Avalanche. They clinched that last night.
100% in, Duke. 100 per in. Why not? I got to keep right.
Yeah, you got to, right?
As Kevin Costner said in Tin Cup, you ride her till she bucks, or you don't ride her at all.
Yeah, I'll be in too. Just because the roster and the goaltending. They're a really good team if they make it in.
I got a feeling there's going to be some upsets in this first round. Like some first place teams are going down this year.
Really?
Yeah, across the board.
Well, I can't wait for us to elaborate on that even more next week when some of our seeds get finalized. Because as of the current state, we only know for sure one playoff matchup. That, of course, in the Central Division between the Stars and the Minnesota Wild. Dallas winning a matchup of that game last night. But yeah, like the Jets goaltending, I think is what stands out the most. The Kings, Dennis himself just said, right, he watches this team every game, covers them night to night. He doesn't give them a prayer, a shot in the dark, even to upset Colorado, who is, I think, pretty clearly the best team across the NHL. The points would, of course, reflect that. They are the President's Trophy winners. And even when you try and peek at their cracks in the armor, sometimes it almost feels like we're reaching a little bit, just trying to make cracks with them, even if they're not perfect on a night-to-night basis. So I'll take the Jets, but they got to get in first, and that itself might be too much of a task to accomplish. Over in the Eastern Conference, Pittsburgh Penguins punched their ticket to the postseason last night with a win over the Devils. Of any team that will or even still could make the playoffs this spring, the Penguins are the most surprising.
What about Anaheim, Duke?
I think if we rewind to our season previews and before they dropped the puck on the 25-26 campaign, there would have been plenty of people, myself included, that said Anaheim would have been in the hunt, maybe grab a wild card spot, final spot in the Pacific, depending on how the division shakes out. It's that they were due for that next step in their progression after playing some meaningful games in March last year. I don't know anybody that said the Pittsburgh Penguins
including Kyle Dubas,
that thought the Pittsburgh Penguins would be back in the playoffs this year after missing for the previous three.
Yeah, I'm going to be in on this one. And not only that, they're going to get 100 points this year, Duke.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get 100 points.
It's very impressive.
Yeah. And they missed Sid for a time. Malkin was out. You know, even when coming back from the Olympics, everyone said, not a chance.
Yeah, that was like
sniff.
It's like credit to the Penguins, but not having Sid for 2 to 3 weeks, they're not going to be able to sustain, not going to be able to get over that hurdle. And here they are, still cinching up the second seed in the division, not even clamoring for a wild card spot. They're in, like Flynn, for the week to go.
Who would be your second choice, Duke?
Good question.
Buffalo.
Buffalo is a fair one because of just the narrative around the team, but
they fired their GM.
At the start of this season, just like so many previous, we said, all right, Sabres got a pretty good roster. They got a lot of good pieces in place. Is this the year? And that, the question was at least being asked. Now, them actually accomplishing it, especially after the start they had, that's one thing. But after that, I think I might say the Boston Bruins or the Philadelphia Flyers.
Mm-hmm.
Another two teams that we looked at the start of the season and said, for the Flyers, all right, they're starting on the come up again. First year with Rick Tocchet, the Bruins, more on the slide the other way. And I think they're both surprising.
What's so funny, Chuckles?
Sorry, but Greater Man Jay text in here, and you guys sent that group text from Eddie the other day. Greater Man Jay text in, says, it's about that time when the real deal Eddie Steele heads down the road to Dutch oven the next 30 people at the SO after he warms up his lunch, giggles, and sneaks out the door.
Yeah, Eddie Steele sent us a text message the other day, picture of the tuna and the rice. Says, thanks, gas station microwave. See you later, losers.
Oh, that was a cheap.
That was the 7-Eleven.
That was unbelievable.
That was the 7-Eleven.
Unbelievable.
I really don't feel bad about those.
I know you don't. And
not the 7-Eleven.
That's why I'm worried about you. That's
a good one, though, Great Man Jake. I thought he was going to say sneak down the hall to punish the porcelain.
Yeah, well, there's lots of directions.
Both are pretty accurate.
That's going to happen,
Lots of directions to take with you, Eddie.
Oh, man.
On to number 4, round 2 at the Masters underway. Wyndham Clark, the early mover so far today. He was at the 300. I haven't checked the most recent update on the scoreboard. But come Sunday night, our winning score from this year's Masters. This might be a little bit of a long shot. Our buddy Keith Stewart predicted the opposite back on Wednesday, but I think we will have a score better than last year's Rory McIlroy's winning mark of 11 under par.
What did Keith say, Duke?
He said just because of the conditions, how baked out it's going to be and played out it comes Saturday and Sunday, that he expects a winning score more in like the maybe -5 or -6 category, I believe is what he said.
I think there'll be big scores, man. I'm saying like 15.
That's a little hot, I think, Eddie.
Big scores, I'm thinking.
You know what I'm going to do, Duke? I'm going to go bang on your -11.
I think it's going to be the same.
Same thing, -11.
Kevin's going for the push, not over, not under. Push.
All right, I got 15. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Well, you know that. Well, it's not going to be 15, Eddie.
thinking close, 13, 14, like high. I really
These
do.
guys are coming back. Not like what I'm saying is one of these guys, Rory or Burns, aren't going to be a 10 under today.
No.
But I'm thinking over the 4 rounds, I think they could chop
right
it up.
Now, all the guys that have teed off this morning, Eddie, as far as like say Scotty Scheffler, he's still at 2. There's guys that have been out and they're not making a move really. Clark's pulled one back now, and he's on the back 9 already.
You got to make moves. Moving day. Is tomorrow moving day? Is that what they say?
Yeah.
But that is the term moving day is in reference to the moving the pins, correct? Not in actually.
No, it's moving up the board on the leaderboard. That's what that means.
Yeah, that's when you see the most action.
Yeah, they move the pins every day.
Yeah, the pin placement's different for every round.
I got the pin sheets earlier this morning.
Ooh.
You get the email directly from Augusta National for that, or what?
Guys?
He says, "Did you not get it?"
You get the pin sheets? Come on, man.
Don't look now, but my boy Ludwig, 1 under on the day. He's taking Friday as his moving day, getting back into the mix. So I'm not.
Bring us home, Duke. Bring us home.
No.
Bring us home. We're on good
time here.
That clock is late too. That clock is late.
That's what people hate about. When they're looking at the clock and ready to punch out. You're like
I thought you liked this job.
You're like that. What is it from the cartoon?
The sheepdog.
Yeah, right. It's like. Oh, it's 8:59. Got to get ready.
Ralph the sheepdog and his wolf buddy.
But right at 9, I'm gone. You expect me to stay late? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
are you paying me to stay late?
No, but I mean,
tell you what,
it's valid that I complain about leaving early.
If we click over
you want me to stay late?
If we click over the next quarter hour, Eddie, I'll personally compensate you for those 15 minutes. But until then that's just free time.
Yeah.
Question 5.
Couple, like if it's a couple minutes.
Come on, man. Get to the court, man.
Number 5, it is National Robotics Week. I'm scared of what robots have in store for us for the future. You see the Boston Dynamics videos. They're getting better and better. You can't just knock them over and they're stuck like a turtle on their back anymore. They're improving, Eddie. Lots to be fearful of. But if you could have a robot, maybe a little personal assistant in some capacity that could take care of a menial day-to-day task for you, I'm taking him to be my personal driver and chauffeur for my daily commute.
Well,
go ahead, Eddie.
Unfortunately, some of those already exist.
Yeah.
I will say 5-star chef, like a Michelin star chef.
How can a robot do that?
What? Robot can't cook?
Well, no.
Why?
How is a robot going to put a pinch of salt on something?
Oh, come on, guys. There's robots that can cook. Okay, then what? A robot that can do dishes. What's the difference?
Then cooking and doing the dishes, a lot, I would think.
MTR says maybe we can find you a robot girlfriend, Duke.
Okay.
I was gonna make the comment, but I already did spec this morning, so that was my X-rated for the day.
One. No, I'm gonna go with I was in Kelowna with my buddy Gooley, and he had the Tesla self-driving car, and he punched in all he did was hit one button, and we went on that road in Kelowna along the lake.
Yeah.
And it was about a 10 to 15 minute drive, and it was insane.
Nobody driving it.
No, nothing. But there was a tumbleweed that went across the road. I'm not kidding. A tumbleweed went across the road, and the car detected it, slowed down, moved over.
It's wild.
And the other thing that I noticed that it drove absolutely perfect between the lines.
Kind of like me.
No, Eddie, I've seen
Eddie,
soft shoulder steel.
Soft shoulder ditched your car.
What are you doing, Eddie?
Packing up.
Here's a text 833-401-1440. BC Oilers says, Eddie brings a lot of laughs to the show. Great way to bookend the week.
Thanks, BC Oiler. Appreciate the love. Appreciate
what's on
everybody.
the go for you today, Eddie?
I'm going down to shoot Elks Nation.
And who are the guests?
Jalen Gaines. Oh man,
he doesn't even know who he's talking to.
That's a flub up.
Who?
Jalen DB.
Yeah. Okay. Where is he? Is he in town?
No. He's gonna be on video. That's how most of the Americans are, is via video.
How many guys stayed in town over the?
Not a lot. Some guys came up last week because the past couple of weeks they were doing a lot of community appearances. Mm-hmm. So there's quite a few guys in town, but no, Jalen will be online today.
Anyone else?
Just me, Deck, and Jalen.
What else is going on for the weekend?
Oh, I got to get tires done. My wife shredded one of our tires on the van.
What do you mean
gotta
shredded?
I don't know, man. It was destroyed on the outside, so I got to go and get some tires changed.
Rubbed up a few curbs?
Something like that.
Probably a former or a gas station worker probably tailed you home in it one day and torched it.
It looks like someone slashed it, to be honest. Yeah.
Well,
looks like
what goes around comes around.
Probably that clerk from the Delburne station.
those-
They're so rude down there.
Maybe it was those valve caps that Pete Panotsky put on your valve stems.
Yeah. Well, guys, I love you. Edmonton, it's been a slice.
Eddie,
have a great day.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Anything else you wanted to close out the show with, like to wrap it up?
No, Kevin.
Really?
No, you still got 2 hours to wrap, big fella.
We got lots of. We got the Masters on. We got Gary Meyer coming in at 10 o'clock. Yeah, I know he won't leave right at 11.
Easy money.
Thanks, Eddie. Have a great weekend.
Take care, guys.
That's Eddie Steele, Grey Cup champion from 2015, all-decade team, CFL, all-decade team, Double E, all-century team, U Sports in the history of football. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. And hey, Duke, I just thought of this because we've got I was supposed to do the Cam and Eggs segment. What about Josh Fenwick reading it? Josh
Can
Fenwick.
he read?
Hey?
Can he
I don't
read?
know. It's a test just to go in blind to read Cam and Eggs. I don't know if it's fair.
He went to Nate.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of my time there, but the admission requirements aren't exactly Harvard.
No, I better Cam asked me. I don't want to pass it off.
Cam will think you're trying to pass the buck here. Like you don't want to read his script today.
No,
I think Josh is in it.
Oh, is he? Okay.
I'm going in cold. I took a scroll down it, and I'm pretty sure he is.
And we only have it. It was texted, right? We don't have it on an email.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll figure that out. So we're going to go Cam and Eggs edition, and I'll be reading it just like Greg's does on Fridays, I believe. Mike Wilner at 9:20 from the Toronto Star in the Deep Left Field podcast. The Blue Jays taking on Minnesota today. We got Liam Hurlbin from Oilers Nation coming up at 9:40, and then it's our first show, Golfing with the G-Man, Gary Meyer for the Country Club Tour. They've got a whole bunch of things going on. And everyone wants to get golfing outside, but obviously the indoor centers will be buzzing this month because people want to get going. They want to get tuned up. They want to get excited and get raring to go for the golf season. But they've also got some PXG fitting days that we're going to talk about as well. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand. High quality promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. That's Fusion with a Z. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
14-game slate across the NHL last slate, all of it with implications on the playoff races. The Islanders keep their hopes alive with a 5-3 win over Toronto. Habs topped the Lightning 2-1. Cole Caulfield scored his 50th of the season in that one. Senators beat the Panthers 5-1. Red Wings double up the Flyers 6-3. Dylan Larkin with a hat trick in the victory. Penguins punched their ticket to the postseason, beating the Devils 5-2. Stars beat the Wild 5-4. Ducks with a hat kick from John Carlson beat the Sharks 6-1. And in the nightcap, Seattle coming back to beat Vegas 4-3 in a shootout. In the association, the Raptors topped Miami for a second straight game. Brandon Ingram, 38 points on road to a 128-114 win over the Heat. Elsewhere, Boston losing to the Knicks 112-106, and the Lakers topped Golden State 119-103. Light day in the majors, just 6 games, including the Yankees getting blanked by the Athletics 1-0. White Sox also put up a donut on the board. They zeroed KC 2-0, and the Padres topped Colorado 7-3. From the Masters at Augusta National, round 2 well underway. Early mover on the day is Wyndham Clark, as he is 2 under now to jump up to a tie for 6. Still atop the board after yesterday's opening -5 is Rory McIlroy and Sam Burns. Nick Taylor, the high Canadian right now, he's set to tee off at 10:44. He's T11 at 1 under. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Mike Wilner from the Toronto Star covering the Toronto Blue Jays and Oilers Nation's Liam Hurlbin. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lottery. Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play.
Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Everything is going to be okay. Any business, regardless of size, can stumble occasionally. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. If your business is facing financial challenges, our team of chartered insolvency and restructuring professionals have corporate debt recovery solutions that work. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. Chances of a positive outcome increase if you engage Faber sooner rather than later.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit prosolutionsinc.ca to schedule your service today.
It's happened again, and construction season is coming soon. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
All this month, you can get in the swing of spring with Pot for Dough at Nisku Ford. Shop amazing deals on their entire in-stock inventory of cars, trucks, and SUVs. You're sure to find the perfect ride. Then, with every vehicle purchase, you'll get your turn to Pot for Dough. Just sink your putt to win fantastic prizes like gas cards, big screen TVs, Blackstone girdles, and more. See dealer for full details. Find your new ride at niskuford.ca. Above expectations.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 910 in Edmonton, and that's from the request line. I believe it was Ashley that sent that one in, and Ashley, longtime listener, Ashley Meyer, and I know she's going to be listening coming up at 10 o'clock when Gary Meyer joins us. Met Ashley, a really lovely young lady, last year, so thanks for listening, and thanks for the request, Ashley. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick with you here on a Friday morning, Playlist Friday, Feel Good Friday. And it's time for Cam and Eggs. And I'm going to do the duty here today. And this is straight cold, folks. So let's just see exactly where we get to. So this is Cam Tate, another edition of Cam and Eggs. Well, folks, welcome to Cam and Eggs. And the very first, not the very second segment of Friends on Friday. Now, I was going to roll this out today anyway, but then my AI gizmo, that thingy that reads my words, decided to throw a tantrum on Thursday. I had to call in backup, so I texted Kevin. Yes, that Kevin Karius. I asked him, hey, buddy, can you read my copy for this segment? And he said, yes, of course. What a champ. So here we are. Friday, Friends on Friday. Speaking of friends, let me tell you a little story. You've probably seen that viral video of the baseball fan chasing the foul ball, right? And the ball wasn't the only thing that dropped. Well, it reminded me of a time I went to watch the Brier here in Edmonton. Now, a few years earlier, I played in a fundraising golf tournament with the great Kevin Martin. Yes, the curling legend. But that's a story for another Friday. Today, let's talk about the time Kevin Martin and Donnie Walchuk invited me to watch the afternoon draw at Rexall Place. They had a suite, pretty fancy, right? A private box on the concourse. But here's the kicker. The suite had 3 steps up to the seats, and I use a buggy. You might call it a wheelchair. From the buggy, I couldn't see over the seats. Kevin? Oh, he's got solutions. Donnie, he said, you grab Cam's right elbow, I'll grab his left. Now, I can walk a little. It's not pretty. Think bird dance meets drunk flamingo. But as I stood up, I felt that feeling. You know the one. The oh crap, my pants are falling down feeling. By the 3rd step, boom, pants around my ankles. Kevin and Donnie, oh, they just kept walking like nothing had happened. And me, I waddled right out of my pants like a penguin on a mission. Kevin Martin turned to me, deadpan, and said, good thing we've got the private box. As funny as this is, I don't think anyone else would want to see it. And that, my friends, is why belts are not optional. Tune in next week for more chaos, more laughs, and more Friends on Friday. Excellent stuff, Cam Tate. If you were sitting in the box with Donnie Walchuk, and I've known Donnie since the 70s because he comes from my hometown in Melville, Saskatchewan. He was one of the best curlers going. If you had a couple pops with Donnie Walchuk and Kevin Martin that day, Tater, I can guarantee you, you had a hell of a time. You had a lot of fun. Hope I did you proud there, big guy. Hope you did you proud. That's another edition of Cam and Eggs, and Cam Tate joins us for the morning show, as well as the 2-minute warning with Jason Greger every day, Monday to Fridays, right here in Sports 1440 AM. Coming up at 9:20, we got Mike Wilner from the Toronto Star and the Deep Left Field podcast. Liam Harobin from Oilers Nation at 9:40. And then at 10 o'clock, it's Golfing with the G-Man as Gary Meyer steps in for the Country Club Tour. And just to update you on what's going on at Augusta, Georgia, Wyndham Clark made that quick push early on, came out of the gates hard. He parred the first hole, birdied 2, 3, and 4. And since then, he's given one back and he's playing 13. He's still at 2 under par. Rory McIlroy and Burns yet to tee off. Kitayama, 3 under. Day at 3 under. And Patrick Reed at 3 under. Scotty Scheffler has parred the first 3 holes. And other than that, nobody really making a move here yet. Nobody's made a move as far as things go at the Masters. Duke's boy, Oberg, started at 2 over. He's at 1 over after grabbing 1 back. But it's McIlroy, Burns at 5 under. They tee off later in the morning. Burns will be coming up here in about an hour and 15 minutes. McIlroy about an hour and 15 minutes after that. You know what? Jason Day always plays this course tough, always plays it well. He tees off at just before 1 o'clock our time, so he'll be in one of the later groups that you can watch in the later afternoon. I was talking about Jordan Spieth during the break. Every time I look up this morning, and he's played 4 holes, every time I looked up at the TV here in the Sports 1440 studios, it seemed like he was putting for birdie. I think he had an eagle putt on 2 as well, but he hasn't made anything yet. So he still remains at 1 under. Wyndham Clark, though, made that move early. He is at 2 under. As for the Canadians, Corey Connors started the day at 3 over par. He birdied the 3rd hole, but since then has bogeyed the 6th. So he remains at 3 over par. When we come back, Mike Wilner from the Toronto Star and the Deep Left Field podcast. That's coming up on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Great news for your weekend project. CFI, that's Custom Floors Inc., is now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 till 2. Get top quality Canadian products from Beaulieu with the convenience you need. For your free estimate, visit CFI at customfloorsinc.ca.
Business owners, if rising electricity costs are cutting into your profits, there's a smarter way forward. Right now, federal clean technology tax credits can cover 30 to over 50% of the cost of a commercial solar system, delivering an immediate return on your investment. And in Edmonton and Sturgeon County, the Commercial Clean Energy Improvement Program offers long-term financing for up to 20 years, making solar more affordable than ever. Lock in lower energy costs for decades and strengthen your bottom line. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com to get started.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks. And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6 years. That's on our number one selling GMC Sierra half-ton crew cab, or the Elevation, the AT4, or Denali. Yep, 0% for 72 months. And Costco members get an extra discount on some of our SUVs. Pop in today and drive away smiling. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Jason Greger isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder with over $3 million raised for local charities. And his Greger Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Greger weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
Every morning, you look in the mirror and see less of yourself. Hair loss can feel like losing a part of who you are.
But it doesn't have to be that way. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we understand the pain of hair loss. Our advanced hair restoration solutions won't just bring back your hair, they'll help you face the mirror with confidence.
Good morning, you sexy beast.
Visit drvanceelliott.com today because it's time to be the man you remember. Oh, Canada. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this.
Ends Wednesday at Pet Value. Save $10 on select open farm dry dog food. Buy one, get one, 40% off all dog and cat treats. And more great deals. Shop your local Pet Value and petvalue.ca.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 9:20 in Edmonton. And time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge. Land a 2026 Jeep Compass 4x4 for $36,900. Features include the 8.4-inch touchscreen, active lane management, Apple CarPlay, remote keyless illuminated entry, the rear backup camera, the alarm, and much, much more. We have 30 in stock at stalbertdodge.com. As we welcome back Mike Wilner from the Toronto Star and the Deep Left Field podcast. Good morning, Mike. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 once again. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey, how badly did this team need that day off yesterday, Mike?
Oh, as much as any team could have in April in a very long time. They were playing terribly, even though they won on Wednesday. Everybody's sick. Half the team's hurt. It was a very, very welcome off day for sure.
Mm-hmm. And as you said, the win on Wednesday, it's just one game, But how badly did they need that win?
I mean, it was nice, but it's very easy to overstate the value of a win, 7% of the way through the season. But it was nice. I don't think anyone was expecting it, honestly. So that makes it a little more nice, but it certainly the season didn't hang on whether they won Wednesday or not.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think has been like the most pleasant surprise, maybe the best player out of the gate so far here, Mike? Is it Andres Jimenez?
That's a tough one.
Is it Jimenez, you think?
I don't think so, because, I mean, remember, he did the same sort of thing last year. He set a Jays record with 3 homers in his first 5 games with the team, and then hit like 140 for a month before he got hurt. And he had a good series against the A's, and then he sort of went into the tank for a few days, and then he had a couple of hits against the Dodgers, and his overall numbers are good, but his performance has been very up and down offensively. I think maybe, if you have to point to who's been the best, probably Louis Varland.
Okay.
He's been outstanding out of the bullpen, not unexpectedly.
No. I think we talked earlier, maybe a few months ago, Mike, and I think we sort of both said, would you see him maybe, seeing some closer time? Do you think you'd see him pick up a few saves here and there? And I mean, Hoffman's been good so far here, but I mean, Varland, as you said, he's been throwing darts in there.
Yeah, he's been outstanding, and I would think that he's probably the first guy they turn to if there's a day when they can't use Hoffman, or if Hoffman starts to have some trouble again. He's been quite good so far. He's struck out like half the batters he's faced, which is incredible. But yeah, Varland's certainly got that capability, and now he's facing his old team, the team that like really rocked his world when they traded him last August, or July. So might be fun to see.
Yeah, Mike Wilner with us on Sports 1440. Do you get the feeling that right now, Mike, the mindset of the team is just, let's hang on here as best we can until we get some guys back?
Yeah, I mean, I think they know that that's what they need to do, but also the mindset is, hey, let's, get healthy and win some ball games. I think that they don't believe that they are only capable, let's say, of just treading water until Alejandro Kirk or Addison Barger comes back. They think they're better than that, and they may well be, but the truth of the matter is that if they're slightly above 500 when they get Alejandro Kirk back on Victoria Day or whenever it's going to be, then they're in pretty good shape.
Yeah. Patrick Corbin's going to get the ball tonight against Minnesota. His best days are long behind him. He's kind of one of those guys that has the rubber arm and can keep pitching and pitching. What are your expectations for him tonight against the Twins?
I don't have many, to be honest. I mean, this guy was he was fine last year for Texas, which impressed me because he'd spent the 5 years before that being probably the worst starting pitcher in baseball. Yeah. He was terrific for the Washington Nationals way back when they won the World Series in 2019, and then legitimately terrible for 5 years, though he never missed a start. He was durable, and he's an innings eater, but I used to say this when the Blue Jays had Esteban Loaiza. What's the value of eating innings if you're not doing it well, right? You can go 6 and give up 5 runs. It's not great. But Corbin was a lot better than that last year, so maybe he's rediscovered something. Maybe being in the American League is, I don't know. I mean, I'm expecting him to be very average at best.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's good enough against the Twins, and might be good enough with the Blue Jays offense.
You're right. He threw 155 innings last year in Texas, and he was just hot garbage for 3 prior seasons. Well, 4 prior, actually 5 in Washington. In 2019, you're bang on when they did win, and he had a really good year, and he was good in Arizona before that. But again, I don't know how much he has left. And what do you think if they're thinking, well, if we can get 4 or 5 innings out of them, they'd be just ecstatic tonight?
Well, he threw 5 in Dunedin in his, I guess, I don't know if it's a rehab start whatever it was after they signed him as a free agent. And I'm hoping they could get him 5. They can get 5 or 6. Minnesota's not. I mean, even though they just swept the Tigers 4 straight, they're not an offensive force by any means. And maybe he can, carve them up a little bit. But yeah, he was bad for a while. But garbage is that's kind of mean. Shouldn't refer to people as garbage.
Sorry, Mike. Nice. I apologize. Yeah. Mike Wilner, Toronto Star, Deep Left Field podcast with us on the Kevin Karius Show. What have you thought of Kaz Okamoto so far this year?
Very up and down, right? He's. I mean, I think it was 7 straight games that he reached base to start his career, and he's hit a couple of homers, and he's had a couple of nice looking swings where the ball has just jumped off his bat, but he's also struck out in almost half his plate appearances, which is, I mean, that's not supposed to be his game. It wasn't. That was the problem with Munetaka Murakami when we were talking about the big free agents coming over from Japan, not Okamoto. And that's a bit of a surprise. It's been a surprise that he's been able to handle some velocity, but he also got just absolutely blown away by Shohei Ohtani the other day with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. So, I mean, it's super early in his career here in North America, and the guy was an all-star 6 times in Japan, and you can't do that with smoke and mirrors. So he's still adjusting, I'm sure. And I think he's going to be an average to at least slightly above average hitter in the big leagues, but he needs some time, I think.
Jesus Sanchez, what have you thought of his play so far this year?
I like Jesus Sanchez, and I think that, eventually he's going to be a very solid platoon guy on the strong side. He's going to be able to hit righties. His whole career, he's hit righties relatively well, better than average major leaguer, and there's power in there. We've seen it. It's very weird that he's never hit more than 18 home runs in a season, so I don't know if that's going to continue or not. But I remember after he hit his first homer, I went up to him in the clubhouse and I said to him in Spanish, 20 more. And he looked at me and he was like, I don't know, but maybe. And I said, yeah, you can do it. And I think he can. It's in there if he gets the opportunity, and it's easier to hit in Toronto than it was in Miami. But I see him, playing most days now until Addison Barger gets back, and maybe sort of claiming that role in Barger's absence, because right now it's supposed to be kind of a timeshare between Sanchez and Nathan Lucas, but they're both going to have to be playing every day for a while. So we'll see who has the better couple of weeks.
How is your Spanish, Mike?
It's passable. It's not great, but I understand a lot, and I can, I can get by. It's if you drop me in the middle of Mexico City, I'd be able to survive.
Attaboy. Mike Wilner from the Toronto Star and Deep Left Field podcast with us on the Kevin Karius Show here in Sports 1440. So Vladimir Guerrero, is he just pressing? What are you seeing from his at-bats here?
At the beginning of the season, he was getting on base like crazy. He wasn't hitting for much power, and still not hitting. He's only got the 1 home run. But I can see every once in a while that, especially when guys are hurt, guys are sick, he's not, or at least he wasn't on Tuesday when I talked to him. But I could see him sort of still getting into that, man, I really need to do something here. And the quicker he gets out of that mindset, I think the better it's going to be for him and for the team. But it's hard not to fall into that. He's the guy who's making $500 million. He's the one who's supposed to carry this team when it needs him. And I don't blame him for getting anxious every once in a while and thinking he needs to be the guy to get the big hit. But, the way they won last year and the way they did so well, even though he did get the big hit all the damn time in the playoffs, during the regular season, it was everybody contributing and up and down the lineup. So that's what they need to do in order to win.
Overall health of this club. Who do you think the first guy back is? Is it Savage? Who do you think it is?
Could be. He pitched last night in Florida, and it was his second rehab start for them. Barrios is in, I mean, I don't understand it. He seems to be in remarkably good shape for a guy with a broken elbow. He can't feel it. It doesn't hurt. It scares the hell out of me. But he's on track to come back. They'll both be back before Shane Bieber. I don't know if Savage will be back first or if Addison Barger will be back first. He was looking a little bit better Wednesday walking around the clubhouse, certainly, than he did Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
But, yeah, one of them. And look, Cody Ponce isn't going to be back. Alejandro Kirk's not going to be back till like Victoria Day. And Max Scherzer's going to pitch on Sunday with a forearm tendonitis, so his elbow might explode too. Who knows?
Speaking of Kirk, is it going to be a split, do you think, between Valenzuela and Heineman?
I wonder. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they might want Valenzuela to assert himself to take a little bit more because Tyler Heineman might be better playing less often. But I think I don't know if Valenzuela is ready to hit the big leagues yet, and I think Heineman can play every day for 3 weeks or close to it. So we'll have to see, but they're talking about a relatively even split. I don't think, once we get to the middle of May, I don't think it will have shaken out that way.
Yeah. Valenzuela had a hit in his first at bat, but since then I don't think he's had a sniff. How do you think he's done receiving the ball?
Been all right. He's learning. He's a good thrower. He's a good catcher, but he's never seen any of these big league hitters before and barely worked with any of these pitchers. He's got one spring training with the Blue Jays. So he's got a lot to learn, and it's really tough to learn on the fly as a catcher for a team that's expecting to contend. So, he's got his work cut out for him for sure.
Is he calling the game, or is it coming from the dugout?
No, he's calling the game.
Okay.
They have a lot of meetings before, and they talk in the dugout between innings and all that stuff, but the Jays aren't sending in pitches.
Yeah. Even in that first game, when he caught Lauer, and Lauer was laboring because he was ill, I thought he handled it well going out to the mound and trying to give him a little bit of more of a breather in between pitches here as well. Mike Wilner from the Toronto Star Deep Left Field podcast with us. The rest of this series against Minnesota, it's Lauer against Ryan and then Max Scherzer against Bradley. Just maybe a thought overall on Minnesota coming to town here.
Yeah, look, they're red hot. I'm not quite sure how, but they swept the Tigers 4 straight in Detroit. So there's not much travel for them coming over to Toronto. But, facing Joe Ryan and the way Taj Bradley has started his year is not going to be an easy task for a Blue Jays team that is sort of lacking offensively at the moment. It's not going to be easy, as much as the Twins were not expected to contend, and the way to beat them is to get into their bullpen. The bullpen's been not great and doesn't really have a lot of big arms in there. Tyler Rogers' twin brother Taylor, I think, is their closer, although I also think they've gotten saves from 4 different people in the last week. So they're going to have to pitch well. They're going to have to take advantage of the few opportunities that they get to score, but they're certainly capable of winning the series, no question.
What do you got cooking on the Deep Left Field podcast here, Mike?
Oh, we had a new episode drop yesterday, so everybody should go and listen to that. We talked about, you and I just talked about Eric Lauer. He's on, talking about the flu Jays, as he called them, and he believes that he was patient zero. We talked to Joe Mantiply as well, who's one of the new lefties in the Blue Jays bullpen, a 35-year-old who has been an all-star, went to the World Series with the Diamondbacks in 2023, but somebody who's, he calls himself a mere mortal. He's a guy who's never cashed in big time in his career, never made as much as $2 million in the season. So he's, as much of a regular guy as there can be in professional athletics. And Chris Woodward is on it as well. He's the Dodgers' first base coach. Used to be the manager of the Texas Rangers and was a Blue Jay for 7 years. And, it's the 50th anniversary or the 50th season of the Blue Jays this year. So I'm going to be getting a lot of the old-time Jays across all their eras to talk about their days with the team. So that's a lot of fun.
Who have you had and who are you going to have from that original team back in 77?
I had Alan Ashby back in spring training. Of course, I worked with him on the broadcast for 6 years, but he was a member of the 77 Jays. And I don't know, I'm going to try to get a bunch of them. It's tough because it's 50 years ago and not all of them are in great health. And, and I don't, there are very few of them who I actually know. But I'm going to try to get like a Dave LeManchik or a Jerry Garvin or Otto Velez would be a huge get. I think would be a lot of fun. I'm definitely working on Rick Bassetti, who was not an original Jay, but he got there in 78. And he was the center fielder. And hopefully I'll have him on at some point this month. And that'll be a lot of fun. He was one of my favorites when I was a kid.
Man, Dave McKay, tons of guys to get.
Yeah. Yeah, we had Dave McKay on last year, I think.
Good stuff. Thanks for coming on, Mike. Enjoy this series before the Jays head out on the road. Really appreciate, as always, you coming on.
All right. Thanks for thinking of me.
That's Mike Wilner from the Toronto Star and the Deep Left Field podcast. And our game of the day brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where the Jeep Compass 4x4s are here, and they're going for a hell of a bargain, hell of a deal, $36,900. 30 of them in stock. I bet there's probably 29 now. Check them out at stalbertdodge.com. When we come back, we'll revisit the Oilers and their prep for tomorrow's game in the afternoon in Los Angeles. And that's going to be with Liam Hurlbin from Oilers Nation. That's right after the break. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick with you here on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
What if you could hire motivated, safety-trained youth with no risk and funding to support you? At Careers The Next Generation, we make hiring easy with funded internships across Alberta in trades, IT, forestry, and more. Interns are WCB covered, complete high school accredited safety trained, and arrive ready to contribute from day one. With 42% of RAP students completing their apprenticeship by age 22, you get skilled workers faster. Spots are filling up. Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
a double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value. For a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat, call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy.
No payments and no interest for 1 year of your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
Wow. All right. Welcome back to the big program, 942 from the request line on Playlist Friday. Duke, I'm blown away. I don't know who that is. I love that song.
That's Ernest.
Ernest.
And then Snoop Dogg comes in later in the song, I think.
Ernest.
It's a mononym like Cher or
Oh.
Beyonce. He's just Ernest.
So, like, is this a new song or what?
I think that's a pretty new song.
Wow. What's the name of it?
Getting Gone.
Getting Gone. I love that song. I gotta get that song.
You gotta get to getting.
Get to getting. 942 in Edmonton. Text line 833-401-1440. I love this text from Ontario Moms. KK. Bouchard missed out on the Olympics, likely the Norris, because of clip culture as information and news. He's better in every statistical category than anyone he's competing against. If you switch the names of the players with their stats and put, let's say, Hughes with Bouchard's stats, wouldn't even be a conversation. Hughes would be running away. I can't agree more with that text, Ontario Moms. Time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. And at Fountain Tire, we can meet all your car needs and even more. And with our digital vehicle report, we just don't tell you what your car needs, we show you. Book your appointment at fountaintire.com today as we welcome in Liam Harobin from Oilers Nation. Good morning, Liam. You're with Kevin Karius. As always, thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it, big guy.
Yeah, morning, Kevin. I think your text to that needs a podcast. He's got a lot of logic, so I like what I'm hearing.
I do too. You know what? And Liam, I've said this many times, and you know, when you do your scouting, sometimes it's the best thing to go in blind, is it not? If you don't know what number this player is, what the name on the back is, but he catches your eye, you go, hey, you're not jaded in one situation to one player or another. I don't know if you've ever done that scouting. My dad used to do it 100 years ago, but he told me that's when you got the eye and to see it. Now you're not relying on other crap that you're seeing around you or hearing from someone else.
Yeah, and there's no real reputation with the player either, right? Everyone's just kind of a blank slate going into it. And I do know when they do these, like the Alberta Cup, BC Cup at the end of the year, all the tryout camps for that, there is no names on the back of jerseys. It's just numbers. And that way, like you're kind of suggesting, there's nothing to go off. It's just based off what happens that weekend. And I think it is important as well. And I know in Penticton we do this, is you look at the positive side of it. Like, we don't really, obviously you make notes on the cons, you have to, but like, it's like, what does this player do for me to help me win hockey games? And it does that outweigh what he's doing on the negative side of things. And obviously 9 times out of 10, the positives in the player, especially when you're scouting at the level I do, they're going to stand out way more than the other guys. And I think in the case of Evan Bouchard, obviously, who we're referring to, he does a lot more positives than negatives. And it's very frustrating, I think, when he obviously had a terrible game against Utah the other day, the first one in however long that was. But then you look last night, and Zach Rowensky in a must-win game for the Columbus Blue Jackets goes -3, and his team loses 5-0. And I don't know if I've heard a whisper of him not winning the Norris. You know, it's insane, the double standards. And I think Evan Bouchard fully deserves to be in the conversation and should get some first place votes. I do believe it'll probably be a lot closer than people end up, I suspect it being right now, but it's just unfortunate that even some of these like big time panels will talk about Bouchard and be like, but I'm still going to vote for Cale Makar. And it's like, well, why? Like, what's the point?
It's befuddling to me. And again, you made the perfect point about Werenski, and I'll be honest, Liam. So, probably 3 months ago or right around the Olympics, I had Bouchard at 4. And then after the Olympics, he's gone to 3. Then he's at 2. And for me right now, it's a coin toss between him and Werenski. And I'm throwing this out too, because people talk about Macklin Celebrini being a Hart Trophy nominee, and some people even saying a winner. But if they don't make the playoffs, San Jose, he likely won't be nominated for the Hart. How does that not come into play with Columbus? If the Jackets don't make the playoffs, how is Werenski up for a Norris?
Yeah, I completely agree. And I made that same point too. Like, what's the argument? I think the last guy to win it who didn't make the playoffs was Erik Karlsson, and that's when he had the 100-point season. And you might remember from that year, it was very controversial that he did win it because he was like minus 40 or something like that. Yeah. But there was another stat I saw too, which really blew me away, was no defenseman has ever won the Norris when they haven't led the league in points by defenseman and have missed the playoffs. Karlsson did it, and I believe Fox was the other player that has done it. He missed the playoffs, but they led all defensemen in points. And Bouchard's going to lead what should have been a historic power play. Obviously, it's trickled off a little bit due to injuries. It's still going to be first in the NHL. The Oilers might win the Pacific Division, and he's going to have 90-plus points on the year. He won't get 100, but let's just say he gets 95 for the sake of conversation. It's like, that is an amazing season, and it's just been overlooked because of mistakes he made so often in October and early November, where I just think that's so unfair. Because you even look at a Kucherov, for example, who should be one of the Hart finalists, of course, well in the conversation, incredible player, but started the season with like 12 points in 17 games. But no one talks about his slow start to the season. They talk about, like, look how much better he got throughout the year, and like, look at the injuries Tampa Bay had to overcome, and Kucherov led the way. It's like, well, Bouchard's doing the same thing right now, and everyone just says, wow, look at his turnover he had against the Islanders on game 4 of the season. It's so unfair.
Yeah, I'm with you too. And I've listen, you've slammed Bouchard. We've slammed Bouchard. The town has slammed Bouchard. And we've given him the business when he's played poorly. But I think it's unfair to him, and it's unfair to voters looking at this and not giving him the credit that he deserves when he does play well, because you said it, Liam. He didn't play well against Utah, but he rebounded quite well in San Jose. So he's come back when he's had bad games.
Yeah, and I think that's a very underrated trait, I think, from Bouchard, is his ability to just kind of, it works both ways, I suppose, sometimes, but just kind of forget about the last play. Like, he just moves on so quickly. And I thought he was really solid against San Jose. I thought the whole team was really good against San Jose. There's another stat I've liked to Quantum Hockey had it up, and you can go back and look based off over time periods. And in the last 3 months, this is just off points, in 35 games since January 10th, Bouchard has 50 points. The next closest guy is Rasmus Anderson at 43.
Yeah.
Zach Werenski is 33 points in 34 games, and that is 7th. And Cale Makar is down in 18th. He has 30 games played, 24 points. And I know what everyone's wondering is like, well, what about plus minus? Bouchard's plus 22 in all of that. It's like the stats are right there in front of our face. They're literally screaming at us, and people ignore them.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens, because and you know what? If the Oilers have good success in the playoffs, they don't give a rat's ass about any of this either. Just like Connor with the Hart and all that stuff too. Liam Hrobin with us from Oilers Nation. What do you think about tomorrow's game, Liam? And we talked about the goaltending situation. It's a little ambiguous right now, and Dickinson got the shot from Bouchard the other night, but maybe just a thought going into LA tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I think they only need a point to clinch a playoff spot, which is what the team wants more than anything, right? I know they keep saying they're not too concerned about the division. I think that just comes after they officially clinch the playoff spot, but they beat LA, obviously, 8-1 last time they were in that building, one of Jim Hiller's last games. So I feel like this LA team is going to come out with a little bit of vengeance here too. But the good news is the LA Kings go to overtime no matter what. They have the most overtime losses all time in the NHL, which is crazy. I think it's still at 19. So that point that the Oilers need will likely come, even if they want it to or not. So I think the goaltending situation will be interesting, but the goaltending, it all comes down to what the team is doing in front of him. Like even that game the other day against Utah, I don't think Jari was that bad until the entire team flipped. Like he made that big save on Kylie Yamamoto. I think that was either late in the first, early in the second, whenever it was. And then all of a sudden, the whole team just kind of collapsed on itself. And that's when Jari got a bit exposed. So I think if he's good to go, I would go back to Ingram tomorrow just to see if he can get moving again. But I do trust Jari. I think that game against Chicago he played last week was really solid too. And he was pretty unfortunate to allow a goal. Obviously, the goal that went in off Connor Murphy. So I think Jari's played a little bit better. It's a very small sample size, only 3 games. The last game wasn't great. But again, the team didn't play very well either. So I think the Oilers will officially clinch a playoff spot tomorrow.
Yeah, for Jari, for me, Liam, I just don't see him being comfortable yet in the crease. His movement, sliding back and forth, across the crease and tracking the puck. I don't see him being as comfortable as he needs to be yet.
Yeah, I think he's become more comfortable in comparison to like where he came after his injury, which was very far down. But I think you're right. Even against Chicago, he made the one save. I can't remember who it was, but it was like he ended up really far out of his crease. And I think he's become a decent shot stopper, I guess you could say. Like if the puck's just hitting him, but that's all Stuart Skinner was too. Like pucks just hit him and he was like a positional goalie, I guess you could say. But Jari's definitely a bit more chaotic, and maybe that's why they play better in front of Connor Ingram and just a little bit more trust and the understanding of like the predictability of what's going to happen next. And you're right, Jari doesn't necessarily bring that, but I think if you can get another good game out of him going into the playoffs, then you're in business. I would say I still believe Ingram will be the starter, of course, but back-to-back playoffs now, they've had to go to the other goalie in Calvin Pickard, and hopefully they don't have to go to Jari this time around. But I think he just needs to have another good game going in, and he can't go into the playoffs off the back of that Utah game.
Liam Harobin from Oilers Nation with us on Sports 1440. Trent Frederick, Colton Doc. I think moving forward, these guys are going to be playing together. They are like the Bash brothers, had 7 hits apiece the other night. Not sure who's going to center them because Dickinson might not play. And I would think if everyone's healthy, they move back to a 4th line presence. But maybe what do you think about what these two guys are going to bring once the playoffs begin and the Oilers have a bit of a bruiser of a 4th line here?
Yeah, it's somewhat similar, I guess, to what Florida had last year, right? With Greer and Gadjevich, believe they're wingers. So I like that idea of it. The other thing I think's positive about it too is like they're not just soft hits, like they're hitting with some purpose here. And I think as you get into playoff series and that progresses, and guys might try and move pucks a little bit quicker than they necessarily need to, and that can cause a few more turnovers and then create more opportunities. So I really like what impact they've both had. I think I was a little worried about Frederick and how he would recover from this second injury. Like it looked like he was fully healthy after the Olympics and then gets banged up again, but I think he's done fairly well. Like you said, 7 hits the other night and the assist as well on the dot goal against Utah. So that's been really positive from him. I liked his attitude as well against Vegas, as much as like that result didn't go the way. It's like shows like, hey, like I'm not going to back down just because we're losing so heavily in these games. So I like what the two of them will bring. As for their center, like I really don't know overall how this team's going to line up throughout the playoffs, because it's probably fair to say that 14, 15 forwards right now who deserve a spot in the team, and that's a really good positive thing. I made a joke the other day. It almost feels like training camp a little bit in preseason of like they've just got 9 guys who are battling out for bottom 6 spots at the moment, and it's really good. I like the competitive environment that is evolved in Edmonton right now.
I think if everyone is healthy, I think on the 4th line it'll probably be Henrique between Frederick and Doc. That's how see it. Hey, Liam, how are the Penticton Vs? You guys, the team that you scout for, open the series tonight with Prince George after your first round victory over Seattle.
Yeah, a really good series against Seattle. I think that was actually a great first round matchup for the Vs because of the talent that Seattle had. For people who don't know, they're Radim Murchka, who was the 9th overall pick to Buffalo. Cameron Schmidt, who led the league in goals. He's a 3rd round pick to Dallas. And Matthew God, who I think he's a Flyers pick. He's like 6'4", Cinnamon, real good range on him. He was really solid. And that goalie as well, he's one of the top Czech prospects going into this draft too. So they were a real good test. That series was quite good, quite competitive. But I think the Vs just do a good job of playing as a team. They don't really have any star players. So tonight, like you said, they play Prince George, who again, a really difficult team to play against. There's been some wars between those two teams already in the BC division this year, and so it should be good. Joshua Ravensburg, obviously the San Jose first round pick there too. So hopefully, I'll say V's in 6 if we're giving out predictions.
Boy, well, you got to go with your guys, man, for sure.
Of course.
Hey, Liam, as always, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy that series in the dub and the stretch run in the NHL. I'm sure we'll talk to you as the Stanley Cup playoffs get underway. Thanks as always for coming on.
Yeah, you bet, guys. Have a good one.
It's Liam Hurlbin from Oilers Nation and the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. And again, we got one thing on our minds, and it is your vehicle. Check it out at fountaintire.com. Book your appointment today. Well, the king, the gun, the fire. You know him, you love him, you can't live without him. Gary Meyer, golf professional, has checked in for our first ever edition of Golfing with the G-Man. He looks spry. He looks well. He looks good. He looks vibrant. He's got his notepad out. We're going to talk about the Masters and everything else. Golf for the CCT, the Country Club Tour, when we come back after the break. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales servicing, calibrating, and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding. That's awswelding.ca. Here is the Duke.
Sports 1440 update.
Second round at the Masters underway from Augusta National down in Georgia. Currently atop the leaderboard, still carrying over from yesterday. Sam Burns and Rory McIlroy tied at 5 under par. After that, Kurt Kitayama, Jason Day, and Patrick Reed all at 3 under. The big mover of the day so far is Sung J M, who 4 under through 16 holes has brought him back to even at T21. Nick Taylor still set to get underway today. He'll tee off at 10:44. He's the high Canadian at 1 under, good for T12. Full slate of games in the majors today. All 30 teams in action, including the Toronto Blue Jays at home, opening a set against the Minnesota Twins. Recently signed Patrick Corbin will hit the bump for the Birds. Shayla Woods-Richardson countering for the Twins. First pitch just after 5 o'clock. You can catch that game joined in progress after the Jason Greger show, on Sports 1440. Elsewhere, Cubbies and Pirates with a matinee. That one is starting just after 12 o'clock. Mets hosting the Athletics. Yankees are in Tampa Bay. Baltimore up against San Francisco, and the Red Sox head to St. Louis. In the association, all 30 teams in action there as well, including the Raptors on the second half of a back-to-back. They head to New York to take on the Knicks from Madison Square Garden. Elsewhere, Spurs hosting the Mavericks. OKC is in Denver. And in the nightcap, the Lakers hosting the Phoenix Suns. Playoff action at the junior level. BCHL, Sherwood Park Crusaders in Blackball tonight with a chance to advance through their first-round matchup. They laid that series 3-1. Puck drop just after 7 o'clock. Coming up in hour 4 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by golf pro Gary Meyer for the first edition of this year's Golfing with the G-Man. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in 3s. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Would you like to be a part of history for the month of April? I'm kidding. Or as the kids say, bro, I'm joking. Would you like to help us set a record in April? Chill. Still kidding. At Northgate, we aren't trying to set any records or tell you how many vehicles we sell. And we really don't think you'd care. But what you will care about is this. Every dealer has the same costs. Trust me. GM does not have a favorite kid. You get to decide where you buy. 0% financing, a great selection, and of course, great people. Stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Every morning, you look in the mirror and see less of yourself. Hair loss can feel like losing a part of who you are.
But it doesn't have to be that way. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we understand the pain of hair loss. Our advanced hair restoration solutions won't just bring back your hair, they'll help you face the mirror with confidence.
Good morning, you sexy beast. Visit drvanceelliott.com today because it's time to be the man you remember.
You're listening to Sports 1440 and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Sports 24/7. We are Sports 1440.
Ho, ho, ho. All right. Welcome back to the big program, 10:03 in Edmonton. I think that song kind of sums up what we're going to be seeing this weekend. Georgia, the Masters. Duke, that was from the request line. I can't remember who requested that. Do you know?
I think that was the real Duke. He got in early with that one. I told him we were going to save it for, of course, our 2026 inaugural edition.
Oh, yeah.
Golfing with the G.
Well, Ray Charles, I mean, a legend. There's a lot of history behind that song, Duke. And I don't know, have you ever seen Ray Charles' wife, Duke?
No, and guess
Neither
what?
is he.
Neither is he.
Boom. It is Golfing with the G-Man. Gary Meyer back in studio for another year. Hello, Gary. Good to see you, big fella.
Gents, it's you know, it's nice to be here. It's nice to be seen at my age.
It's nice to be seen at any age.
Well, that's true. But speaking of that, my good friend Bob Michael turned 70 years old today.
Good for Bob.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Bob. I think he's going to go down to the home, and it's maybe tapioca night tonight, so it's really going to live it up. But he's been getting a lot of gigs. He's a drummer, and he's a really good one, and he's been getting a lot of gigs, so he's back out there playing the live music.
Tapioca night.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to miss
do you
that.
take the dentures out for that, or do you just...
I think you can strain that through anything pretty much, can't you?
I guess you can.
Yeah. Hey, the Myers are back from Phoenix.
Plus, Ashley Meyer requested a song earlier.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
she did.
Yeah. No, we picked them up at the airport, which, you get in the limo. And, I was a little nervous because I'd never driven a limo before. And I've got them home safe.
Mm-hmm.
She's keyed up for the season.
Well, we were talking about it earlier, and I met her last year.
Yeah.
So we had fun, excuse me. But it's good to have you back, Gary. Golfing with the G-Men, presented by the Country Club Tour, the CCT. They're getting ready to get all their courses ready. I mean, everyone in town is just itching to golf, but, the two indoor facilities are humming. They've got the PXG fitting day coming up on April the 18th at the CCT Indoor Golf Center. It runs from 11 to 5. They've got the all-new Lightning drivers, the fairway hybrids, and the Gen 8 irons.
Who's the rep for that? Any idea?
I wish I could tell you. I don't know, but I mean, PXG, I always like the commercials, the guy with that gruff voice say PXG.
Yeah. Well, it's quite a story. I mean, the guy had... the amount of money that he got for what was the name of the company?
Well, we'll have to figure it out. Duke will maybe do a little research.
Anyway,
maybe.
I mean, he owns a pile of stuff down in Phoenix. He's
Yeah.
got, of course, one of the premier golf courses down there. And
Mhm.
he owns a Harley dealership. But GoDaddy.
Oh, okay, GoDaddy.
Yeah. And absolute fortune. But what he wanted golf clubs that were, better than anything else. He lured a couple of guys away from Ping, and he
Mhm.
basically just said, okay, it's wide open. You do what you think you need to do. There's no limit to what I'm prepared to spend on this. And so that's what they've come up with. And I know, a few guys are playing them, and I don't see a pile of it on the tour.
I saw Penge yesterday because he was one of the last guys that was on the broadcast. So he's
Okay.
a young guy, Penge, but he had because I saw him. He's got the hat. He's got everything. I saw him with an iron.
Okay, because originally he wasn't going to pay anybody to play his gear, right? So I don't know if that's changed.
Maybe that has changed.
Yeah.
Gary Meyer, golfing with the G-Man. Our very first. It feels weird because the last time when we started this, when we did it last year and before, people were getting close to golfing around town.
Oh yeah,
You know?
absolutely. Yeah, they were playing in places.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a light one. I don't remember it being kind of like this. It's snow and then this and then that. And
When you were at Belvedere for so many years, and you were there at 19?
18.
18,
18 is when they hired me, but 19 was my first full year. Yeah.
full year. Okay, so I mean, you know where the land is everywhere. You've been there a million times. So it seems to me they were always later there.
Always. Yeah.
So
Well, we had it seemed there was a weather system that just cut through. There was almost like, Red Deer. Yeah, he'll be going to Calgary, and then all of a sudden, there's something going on in Red Deer.
Mhm.
But we would get more snow in that area. With times we get more rain, and it took longer. The tree cover was pretty heavy.
Yeah.
And a lot of low spots and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
they've got a new man at the helm there, golf professional, Greg Schubert. He was Sherwood Park boy. Greg he spent a lot of time in Calgary. He was at Cottonwood with that group down there. Cottonwood was a tree farm originally.
Really?
And it's a beautiful spot down in there. He was there for a bunch of years. He climbed the ladder. He was the president of the PGA Canada. And he was out at the Mickelson club for, I think, about a year or two.
Mhm.
Last year, he was at Elk Ridge.
yeah, just outside Waskesiu.
Yeah, just as you're coming in.
Mhm.
So Belvedere lured him away, and he's going to be there. And he played, from what I understand, now I don't remember it, but he played as a sponsored junior at Belvedere
Mhm.
well back. So, yeah, so it's going to be a breath of fresh air out there. I mean, there's been lots going on. I haven't got the full story. I know that, the talk has been that Dan LeKelt has stepped in as an angel investor out there.
Ooh, okay.
And, kind of bought up the debt
Mhm.
and has taken a position out there. So until we get all the real details, if we
Mhm.
get Dan on, if not, we'll get Greg on and find out what's happening at the Belvedere Golf and Country Club.
Gary Meyer with us, our first edition of Golfing with the G-Man. Even Dave Nelson, been at Whitetail, Dane.
Yeah.
So Dave's moving over to Goose Hummock this year.
Is he?
Yeah.
Didn't
So
know that.
we're fired up about that. Dave I know he's listening right now because he loves this segment, as many of our listeners do. And for some of our listeners who might be watching on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitch, they probably have seen Gary looking with you've got the big family of sparrows again, living into that goatee that you have.
Yeah, no, I cut it back a little bit.
What,
Yeah.
just for today?
Well, I thinned it back a little bit. Some of the Hutterites were getting a little nervy with me and stuff like that, and they weren't liking it. They thought I was stealing, vegetables and hiding them in there.
You
so.
could grow some in there.
Well, yeah, that's the only. How is it that you can grow hair right from the top of your ears, the rest of your body you'll be, and then the top of your head bald? I think I grew through my hair. Oh, I just had my physical, 5'8.5".
So
which
you
is
grew.
Well, yeah. I was 6'2" at one time and burly and blonde, and I don't know what happened. Something along the way. And so I go for the physical, and that things aren't going well when you fail a urine test straight off the hop. And I studied, I mean, give me a break. So then the day after, which was yesterday, I go to the neurologist because I've been having trouble with my shoulder and my leg and all this, and it's falling apart. drop foot, really good, spit up all over myself. So anyway, I've got a MRI set, a CT scan, and yeah, I think maybe it's going to be back to the scrap heap,
Well, at least you're better than last year, though, because last year you were having so many problems. You said that you had to put a cork
on the end of the fork, so I didn't take my eye out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they don't even give me a fork anymore. Yeah.
Plastic one, maybe?
No, I'm just allowed a spoon. I got to cut stuff up with the spoon, the whole thing. Yeah. No, it's not pretty. Oh, last night was a fundraiser for the Mental Health Foundation down at Lux, and Darren Malco, Darren, Chris LaChance. Chris wasn't there, but so a fellow by the name of Cody Lakevold has got a book out called Longship, talking about the struggles. Let's see. Longship is From Tragedy to Triumph, a true story of brotherhood. So he went through some tough times, but he had with him Tyler Smith.
Oh, from the Broncos?
From the Broncos, yeah. And Tyler spoke, and I'll tell you what, you could have heard a pin drop last night. And it's been 8 years and 4 days now.
Monday, yeah.
Since that whole thing went on. And what amazed me, he doesn't remember a thing, nothing of it at all. But dealing with the mental side of it, and that has been a real journey, and it was very, very interesting. But so there was that, and now of course what's coming up with the other big thing,
Toast of the Town coming up.
Next, boy, are they desperate, eh?
Next Friday,
yeah.
I saw T.O. yesterday.
Did you?
Well, there was no one left.
Yeah,
they've had all the big guys, so
they've got everybody through. Well, I was surprised because with you, and congratulations on being voted the second best looking radio host in Canada. I was shocked.
Who was number one?
Everybody else was tied for number one. But no.
So I'm going to be emceeing that night. It's next Friday.
Yep.
Toast of the Town, Terry O'Flynn, Cast of Thousands. We'll have a bunch of people there.
Yeah.
It's already sold out. It's been sold out forever, but you're going to handle the auction as usual?
I'll do the auction. Yeah. We auctioned some stuff off last night. So how's this? They've got a Connor McDavid signed jersey, which I think Darren signed. But anyway, guys buying tickets, arm lengths of tickets. Who is the last guy that needs to win a jersey? Drew Shamahorn.
Oh, come on now, really?
Yep. He wins the signed
Elite
jersey.
Sportswear promo and marketing. Yeah. Jeez, yeah. He's only got 8 million of them.
That's right.
Yeah. If a team ever, just pretend something happens and there's a fire in the Oilers locker room, they could just go to Drew's place and, we got enough for the next whatever. You don't even have to wash them.
And they have. I mean, there's been stuff, whip over there on game day, and they're signing on name bars and numbers.
Yeah.
But, so that's good. So, but the Toast of the Town should be a good one. It has been historically.
Yeah.
And
we'll have some fun. Raise some
cure
dough.
for cancer. Yeah. Cure for cancer.
Yeah, for sure. Text 833-401-1440. MTR says, welcome back, Gary. Finally some brains on the morning show. Pete Forsberg comes in and says, morning, KK. Getting Gary back on the show means that I need to grab my notepad nearby again. You need to jot down all the golden one-liners that he drops throughout the show. Great stuff. Welcome back, G-Man.
Don't be using my stuff out there.
Oh, come on.
He's from Forsberg?
He just called Pete Forsberg. That's
okay. Forsberg. Yeah. That was in my territory when I was doing the oil and gas stuff. Tornado is a big hydrovac company there. And I went out there and stopped by there, and this guy had one of those gas-powered helicopters.
Yeah.
It's as big as a fridge, this thing. And he's flying this thing through the buildings. Like, zing, zing, zing. They got a neat little golf course in Forsberg, too.
Been watching Jordan Spieth here in our Sports 1440 studios at the Masters. We'll give you an update before we go to break. Spieth has had putts on every that was another birdie attempt on 8. He left it short.
Short. Yeah.
And it was a downhill, a little bit of a slippery one. But he's parred out here. He's parred the first 8 holes.
Yeah.
And I don't know the stats for sure, but he's had a birdie attempt on at least 6 of the holes. At least 6.
Yeah.
And these aren't crazy looks either.
You got to.
So
hopefully,
you know what?
It going.
Before we give the update, we're just watching Robert McIntyre in studio here too. So he was at 10 over. Now he's at 7. How does a golfer, Gary, that Like he had a rough go yesterday, Robert McIntyre. Won the Canadian Open a few years ago, as you know.
Yeah.
How do you just okay, I got to throw that one in the trash. And I'd like to hang around for the weekend here, but I know I got to put up a good number. As a golf pro, just run through that mindset.
Well, you got all the great intention. You believe you've prepared yourself.
Yeah.
You get to the first tee and, stuff can happen, and it can happen real quick. Golf being an individual sport, I mean, there's nobody there to back you up other than your caddy looking at you going, carry your own stuff. I played so bad the one time even my caddy started throwing my clubs. But no, it's disappointing because, now you've put yourself behind the 8 ball and you're trying to get something back.
Mm-hmm.
And you're prepared to take some risks. And, sometimes you just got to go with it. And when it's coming apart, well, head down and take it.
Yeah. Happens to everyone.
Well, yeah, it does. And I remember Nicholas talking about, he said, if a guy could win all the time, he said, there would have been nothing that changed in the system. He said, but you might have slept different. You may have not slept as long. You may have eaten something you're a little bit off, or your timing's a little, or you're a little foggy, or there's all kinds of things that can happen. But, and every once in a while you get this great start and, you're flying right along. And like Freddie, I'll just slip a 9 in there, which is the nice thing about those big numbers are easy to add when you're going across there, But yike.
Yeah.
I hear, no, I didn't see it, but who was the other guy that made the 9?
Oh,
Duke probably knows. Oh, yeah, I'll never forget what's his name. But I guess he gave turned around and gave the hole the rigid digit.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Clifford Roberts was still alive, he'd have broken that digit off and he'd have put it somewhere, and then he'd have beat him all the way to the parking lot and then banned him for life. He wouldn't even be able to go into the state of Georgia. So, yeah, he was a bit of a taskmaster.
When we come back, and we threw this out yesterday, and we're going to get Gary's opinion on it too. And we had it as an in-route, so I want to involve our listeners as well. So I know IMAC already texted in because we talked about it, and we had a whole bunch yesterday. If you could take one hole from Augusta National and you can put it in your backyard. So like this is fantasy, obviously. So your backyard's big enough to put one hole back there for the rest of your life. You can play it every day. You can have buddies over. You can do whatever you want. What hole at Augusta National would it be? So send us a text, 833-401-1440. What hole? You take it, you move it to your property, you play it every day, but that's the only one you get.
Yep.
So we're going to get Gary's comments on that. We'll get your texts as well at 833-401-1440. It's the Kevin Karius Show. It's golfing with the G-Men for the Country Club Tour. And again, the PXG Fitting Day is April the 18th from 11 to 5 at the CCT Indoor Golf Center. It's Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Gary Meyer on Sports 1440, along with Josh Fenwick, AM Radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Would you like to be a part of history for the month of April? I'm kidding. Or as the kids say, bro, I'm joking. Would you like to help us set a record in April? Chill. Still kidding. At Northgate, we aren't trying to set any records or tell you how many vehicles we sell, and we really don't think you'd care. But what you will care about is this. Every dealer has the same costs. Trust me. GM does not have a favorite kid. You get to decide where you buy. 0% financing, a great selection, and of course, great people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
as we all try to figure out when winter will actually stop and spring will finally be here for the season, GS Construction moves ahead with their plans for the year. From planning and digging to laying out underground infrastructure, construction season is limited, so we make every day count. And that's why GS Construction counts on our team to get the job done right. Crews are getting back in action across the city, and we'd like you to join us. We're looking for experienced top men, pipe layers, operators, and surveyors. For more, visit gsconstruction.ca.
For the first time in 66 years, Golden Bears and Pandas hockey are on the move. During the 2026-27 Canada West season, two of the most successful hockey programs in U Sports history will call Silent Ice Center in Nisku their temporary home. The Golden Bears and Pandas are excited to connect with the South Edmonton community and welcome new fans to experience the tradition and excitement of U of A hockey. Same tradition, new temporary home. Golden Bears and Pandas hockey at Silent Ice Center for the 26-27 season.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Why should you drive a Subaru? How about durability, style, and an excellent customer experience from the moment you step into the showroom? And how about accolades, including awards for numerous 2026 Subaru models from both AutoTrader and JD Power? But don't just take my word for it. Take a test drive and you'll see why the Subaru name is recognized and renowned for quality. To learn more, visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
This year, instead of a short winter getaway from the cold, what if you took a permanent winter getaway from your hair loss? Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott, inviting you to come plan your winter transformation. I've helped thousands of Edmonton men and women get their hair and their confidence back. Many of them preferred the winter. Cooler temperatures are great for recovery, and winter hats can keep everything discreet. Trips are nice, but this winter, choose to invest in your vessel. Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Edmonton. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 1024 in Edmonton. It's the Kevin Karius Show, and it's a 10 o'clock hour on a Friday. That means it's golfing with the GMan for the Country Club Tour with the PXG Fitting Day coming up on April the 18th. Check out their website. You can find all the information. Masters leaderboard, a couple guys have made a bit of a move today, probably Tyrrell Hatton, the most significant, and Wyndham Clark being the other. So those two guys, Clark started at level par, but he's come around 14 and 15 and 16. He was at 2 under. He birdied, pardon me, it looks like he is eagled 15, and then he bogeyed 16. Am I looking at that right? No, he's at 4 under after 16. Yeah, So he has birdied 16. So he birdied 16.
That's nice.
He bogeyed, pardon me.
Holy
15.
smoke.
See, this is Kevin. He thinks he's so hot and toddy because he uses the actual
the
Masters
leaderboard.
website with the physical leaderboard thing up there. But here he is. He doesn't know how to read it, so it's all
He birdied 15 and he birdied 16.
All of a sudden, yeah.
Changed it for a fourth time now.
All of a sudden, he's become Foster Brooks in here, Shit. And I just got, and Brendan told me to stop clicking my pen.
Yeah, well,
I know
it again.
I did it a couple times, but that reminds me of Rich Little. He was in radio. He's a radio announcer before he got into doing the impersonations. And he said he would be doing something and he'd get to some words he didn't know. So he would just leave dead air. He'd say, so in Afghanistan, and on Wednesday, there's going to, he said he had the technical guy underneath. He said between his legs, taking everything apart, looking for stuff.
So to clarify, Wyndham Clark birdied 15 and birdied 16. He's at 4 under. Terrell Hatton, stop it, Duke. Started the day at 2 over. He's at 2 under, playing 11 right now. So
okay, so for
what,
those
Duke? I'm correct on that.
Yeah. So with the new math, that means
Fifth
that
time's
there's
the
a
charm.
4.
We finally got it.
Oh, I was looking at something else too. Come on,
that was almost like that's felt intentional. You're like he birdied. No, wait, no, he eagled and then bogeyed. Okay, no, he birdied and then birdied, and now he changed. So we've landed on the correct answer now, right?
He was just dropping all the words. He wanted to get albatross in there somewhere too.
Somewhere, hopefully.
Scotty Scheffler is going the other way. He started the day 2 under. He's at level par right now, playing 7. And again, here's Justin Spieth. We're watching him in the studios here, folks that are listening here on Sports 1440 AM radio. We're watching it in our studios here at West Edmonton Mall. And Spieth has been dynamite, JJ, with everything except for the putter.
Whoa.
And
sit down.
He's not going to have a sniff here on this one. Say goodbye, Jerry.
Shoot.
So I posed this question yesterday, and Duke had it in or out, and I posed it today.
Yep.
What hole, if you could just take one hole and you take it out to the Myers family ranch out there, and you put it in your backyard, and this is the hole you're playing for, the rest of your life, only one hole.
16.
Okay. And that's what I said yesterday too.
Yeah.
I said 16 because it's red bud. It's a par 3. It plays around 175 yards.
Yeah.
They move it up and
down, back and forth. Yeah.
Now I was there.
Yeah, you've been there.
MTR is going to go bananas again because I'm going to tell the story. I was there when Tiger Woods made the shot. And that's the original one that I picked. And I said, well, man, you could skip balls over with your buddies. You know how they do it. And I thought for sure I was done. But then we started talking about it. I would be taking a par 5. Maybe I would take 15. Maybe I'd take probably 13. Azalea, 13. Because if I'm playing one hole and that's it, I want to be able to hit driver, maybe an approach.
Yeah. Well, as you get older, you're going to be hitting driver on 16.
I could very well.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I almost got there. Yeah. The other thing too, like with 16, now you've got the options. So you stock it with fish, and then, you invite people over that you don't care for, and you sneak a couple of alligators in there, so you've upped the challenge, the risk reward kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, and as aesthetically, it is beautiful,
So a lot of people yesterday said hole 12, and I get that too. Yeah. Even Dave at Whitetail just texted in, "Good morning, guys. So good to see you." And Mr. Meyer,
drinking again,
having the show on for another season. He goes, "We've got it on the TV here at the Goose." So now it gets a little different, Gary, because you got to look good every time. That's why I wore this nice shirt today.
That's is that satin? Oh, that looks like it's satin.
It's made out of bed sheets.
Oh, okay. Well, I know that I see you got your, what you think is a leather jacket. I see you vinily got your jacket.
Finally. Dave says, if I could have one hole from Augusta in my backyard, I would choose number 12. Lots of different options. Short enough, I wouldn't lose too many golf balls, LOL. Yeah. Thanks for the show. Love it.
See, well, the other thing too with 16 is you could have your own dive gear and stuff and go in and, harvest lots of golf balls when your buddies come over.
Yeah.
Trouble is my buddies would be playing the Ranger ball, double stripe Ranger.
Whenever I hear that, the Ranger ball, I think of the great Johnny Sexsmith who passed away, and we're going to honor him too on Saturday, along with Brian Anstice at the Toast of the Town next week. So Johnny did a story from, I believe it was Cougar Creek, where they have the floating range.
Yep.
And some golf ball floated out somewhere. People didn't believe the story, but some guy in Australia found a golf ball that washed up on the shore from Australia that had Cougar Creek driving range on it. And people are saying it's impossible. Like, how did this happen? Well, they tracked this ball and it went down this river, that river, da-da-da-da-da, and it floated all the way to the ocean, and then it was picked up in the currents and ended up in Australia. Now, you're looking at me like there's no way this is...
Well, no, guy took it, stuffed it in his golf bag, just happened to be playing over there, got hammered, thought, wash this in the ocean, chunked it in there, and it just washed up. I used to find my own range balls at other golf courses. It's property of Belvedere Golf and Country Club, and I'm playing the Derrick.
Text 833-401-1440. What hole at the Masters, if you could throw it in your backyard, and played for the rest of your life, what hole would it be? The other question that I had, Gary, that we talked about, and I threw it actually to old man Baker, the father-in-law, yesterday, because I saw, and he's one of the most remarkable guys. And he would be a guy that he would be almost number 1 or 2 on my list to interview, and it's Gary Player.
Ooh.
So one of the guys that I would love to sit down and interview in a one-on-one for 10 minutes, Gary Player is at the top of my list.
Really?
I haven't done Bobby Orr yet. He'd be up there too.
Yeah.
But for me, Gary Player. And so he was asked, how many times have you shot your age? So you saw him tee off in the ceremonial tee off. Gary Myers, 90. Or Gary Player.
90,
Gary Myers, 90 some. Looks like he's 90.
Thanks.
Gary Player is 90.
Hard to believe.
And now, did you see him swing? Did you see the way he looks?
Yeah.
He still does push-ups and sit-ups every day.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm throwing that out to you. How many times? And he says that this is approximate. How many times do you think he shot his age?
Well,
you got to think he's 9. And this is all with buddies now. Like, he's not playing competitive golf.
I'll bet you, because there's a guy in the States, and Ron Lyons can tell you the exact number that this guy has shot his age, but it's in the thousands, this guy. So I'm going to say Gary Player has probably done it 1,200 times.
Yeah. So this is from Gary.
Yep.
Gary Player. He says approximately 3,400 times.
Wow.
So
times 3.
And this is a guy that's in his 70s. He would have been playing still damn sharp golf, and who knows the yardages. He's playing less yardage now, but he's probably still playing 100 and sometimes a year at 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't catch the opening. Did Jack
hit?
He did, eh?
Yeah.
I saw there was an interview. He was talking to, looked like 5 or 6 guys on a putting green, and they were talking for just about an hour with him. And the stuff that Jack was his dad, he said, my dad could play anything. He said he was a great athlete. He said, and I was blessed with a lot of that. He said, if I wouldn't have played golf, he said, I'd have played professional baseball. He said, I love football. He said, but my hands were a little too small. He said he was a good basketball player. He said, of course, I wasn't blessed with any kind of height, but he was, he played in all those sports in college and was good at it.
Yeah.
So, but when you go back to Gary Player, I can remember, way back when I was a teenager, and he was, constantly was working out, and he would wear all black. Here's a guy from South Africa. Yeah. So I would always, once a year, wait for the hottest day that we could find and put on black and wear that. And Pat Little was a big fan of Gary Players. But people were a little disappointed when he came to Edmonton. He was a little...
Was he standoffish?
He was not kind of what everybody was hoping.
What year
was
that?
1980.
1980?
Yeah.
So it was like he just...
Well, like with Pat, he was like Pat would write him letters just about daily. He would write him all these letters. So when he came, Pat was the assistant at the Royal Mayfair with Derek Gibson. And they let Gary Player know that, Pat was this incredible, fan. And so they played together. And the only comment I got is that Pat was very disappointed. So.
Too bad. Text 833-401-1440, Triple C in truck. Says the G-Man is back. Straight laughs, guys. Randy texts in holes 12 or 13 for his Masters. So Rosebud, I don't know what the hell.
Parts of Amen Corner.
13 is Azalea. That's the one. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, Azalea.
Amen Corner, and Millwoods has Heyman Corner. If you've ever
Heyman
Corner. Yeah. So Heyman Corner is when you come off number 1 and you're going to number 2, and the guys are coming around the corner there, and they're going to play the par 3, the 7th.
Yep.
That's called Heyman Corner because the guy yells, "Hey man, what'd you make on 6?"
Yeah. Heyman Corner.
Yeah.
Husk says, I'm taking number 2 at Augusta. It's a long par 5. Some guys are getting some length there. Like I think we saw Koepka hit driver off the deck for a second shot. He was in the rough a little bit this morning.
Yeah.
But it is a lengthy. Some guys eagled it yesterday.
Well, there's, if you think back in history, there's been 2 albatrosses there.
Oosthuizen, and I don't know, it was one way back. Was it Hagen?
Byron Nelson.
Good stuff, Gary. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Dave from Stony Plain texts in, could someone please give me an update on Jason Dickinson? There isn't one, Dave. We've talked about this all morning, and we talked about it yesterday. The Oilers had a day off yesterday. They'll have a practice sometime this morning. Keep in mind, it's only 9:30 in California. So I would say you'll have an update in about 2.5 hours ballpark, but nothing yet. And there doesn't seem to be anything at all that you will hear till after practice.
So what prompted? I missed.
He took a shot from Evan Bouchard in the San Jose game in the third period. Left the game. Had to be helped off the ice. It wasn't didn't look good. How's that sound? So
in the back, in the side,
somewhere in the back of the leg, from the back of the knee down to the skate area. Yeah. So
ouch. I hit myself there playing golf, I think, a couple of times on purpose. Yeah.
Were you throwing a club at the time?
No, I was hitting myself, punishing my body.
Well, that's a tough body to punish.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I don't know if you're going to this, but
I know what.
Everybody here in Edmonton loves Glen Hall.
I'm going. I am.
Oh, you're going? Okay. Yeah, me too. I've got I've got 3 tickets. So I'm going to take Bob, and I was going to take my grandson, but he's playing badminton in
It's the Edmonton debut of Mr. Goalie. Ryan McInerney is the producer, director / writer. He was on the show. We had him on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Because we originally had him slated for Thursday. He's flying in today from the East Coast, so he had to do just a small little thing with Lionel Messi, just a quick little commercial or something like that. So,
okay.
But yeah, that's tomorrow afternoon at the Garneau. There might be a few tickets available.
Okay,
but check it out. It's the Edmonton premiere.
When I bought my tickets, all the senior tickets were sold out because all the cheap screws around Sherwood Park, Rennie DeZoni, Ali Bro, these old guys, they got right in. They're probably going to resell them out front. Here's these 80-year-old scalpers.
Wow,
they're selling tickets that are $15, thinking they're going to make a ton of dough.
IMAC texted in just now. KK, here's my flag. Zoom in on the signature. It's a flag from the Masters.
Yep.
Talked to him for 5-6 minutes. I zoomed in. I can't really see who it is, so tell me who it is, IMAC. It looks like it's a Dustin Johnson. There's 2 signatures on there, but I can't tell. But he's got it wrapped up. This thing is. Some guys have their when they buy the Masters flags or they get them at auctions. They're already encased in whether it could be a frame or whatever.
Yeah. Just keep it at ultra. With that stuff, keep it at a ultraviolet light, a direct sunlight, and if you can get that frame that doesn't allow for it to fade.
Yeah, it looks like IMAC has this wrapped in a extra large Ziploc bag.
Is there a sandwich in there with it?
Yeah, that's probably that stain on there.
Yeah,
caused by the pimento or the egg salad sandwich.
Should be.
When we come back, we'll get to more of your texts, 833-401-1440. We'll update the Masters leaderboard on the Kevin Carey Show. Duke's laughing. It's true. That doesn't it look like it's in a Ziploc bag?
I'll have to have a look.
I'm laughing more. You say you should have said we'll try to update you on the Masters leaderboard as best we can read it.
See here. Well, Clark's still at 4 under, Duke. Looks like he parred 17.
Golly.
It's Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick. It's Golfing with the G-Man Fridays from 10 to 11. That's how we're going to do it for the rest of the summer here. Brought to you by the Country Club Tour. And again, the PXG Fitting Day is April the 18th at the CCT Indoor Golf Center from 11 to 5. Hey, we're back right after the break to wrap up the show and wrap up the week.
Welcome to Silent Ice Center, the region's newest hockey and event center in Nisku. Featuring 2 NHL-size ice surfaces, premium seating, private suites, and an electric atmosphere. From elite hockey to major tournaments, concerts, and special events, this is where the action lives. And with Summit Restaurant overlooking the rink, every event is a full experience. Silent Ice Center, built for champions, built for the community. Book your ice, your event, or your next big night at Silent Ice Center. Email booking at silenticecenter.com.
At GS Construction, we're multitaskers. We've got lots of projects going on all around Edmonton and area. Different teams across the city working towards the same outcome. Installing today what will serve generations to come. It's a rewarding career and the work never stops. That's why GS Construction is always on the lookout for great people to join us. Right now, we're looking for experienced topmen, pipe layers, operators, and surveyors. So if you want to feel valued, empowered, and engaged in your work, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
A huge thank you for making Sports 1440 the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Gregor to Karius to Low Tide, we've got in-depth analysis on all your favorite sports. We are Sports 1440.
I've got some good news. If you've been thinking about a heavy-duty truck, the 2026 Ram 2500 Black Express is now at St. Albert Dodge. You've got 20-inch black aluminum wheels, black Mopar side steps, body color, bumpers and grille, and a sport performance hood. Available in all the colors for $68,990. Plus, new this year, Ram's best-in-class 10-year powertrain warranty. Now's the time. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Step up to the plate with confidence this season with St. Albert's Source for Sports, your trusted experts in baseball. From the diamond to the dugout, get the latest from top brands like Mizuno, Victus, Marucci, Rawlings, and Easton. Suit up with new cleats, helmets, pants, and don't forget the gloves, because champions know that every catch counts and every play matters. At St. Albert's Source for Sports, they know the game and they have the gear to prove it. St. Albert's Source for Sports, your source for baseball gear over 35 years.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 1045 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you on a Friday, getting ready for the weekend. You got to get your Irish dialect going for next week, right? With Teddy.
Oh, that's right.
You're going to sing their little song for Teddy again?
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah. You have to be in an R line. Going to be in a. I said, what the hell is an R line? You know, they fly in the air. R line. I got my R line tickets. Oh, good on you. Oh, hey, I went to the Crusader game the other night.
Okay.
5-2 victory for the local boys.
3-1?
Yep, they're up 3-1 over Black Falls. They're heading back to Black Falls to try to wrap that up. Saw Ross Perkins there.
Did you?
Yep.
Perky's
always around there. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's another year, but we got to tell that story too. Might as well. I'll start the beginning one when we had Perky on and the guy that texted in. This is Ross Perkins, played for the Oil Kings and played for the Oilers in the WHA years and years ago, right?
Yep.
One of the best guys going. Anyway, maybe has a bit of a bigger schnoz, and some guy texted in that time we had him on.
Right.
Perky, and he said, did you hear that Perky got a distracted driving ticket because he was picking his nose at a stoplight?
Yeah.
Because his nose is so big, And I told Gary that story. We're up in the press box, and Gary comes back at me with this one.
With Maurice Baudouin. Morris has moved back here from Victoria, by the way.
Okay.
Bowinkle. Anyway.
Where did he play? He played Oil Kings?
No, I don't know that he.
Okay.
He may have. He was a decent hockey player back in the day, I guess. But everybody knew him as Bowinkle. But yeah, he's got the pretty big nose. And he told the story. He said, guy said to me, he said, "Hey, Bowinkle," he said, "listen, if you ever get a nose job, save me a roast."
Still one of the all-time classic lines.
Oh, here we are. There's the leaderboard. Let's have a look at it.
Sam Burns has played the first hole already, and he is still at 5 under. He's parred it. Rory McIlroy will tee off a little bit later. I guess the clubhouse leader would be Wyndham Clark at 4 under par.
Oh.
So a hell of a round for Clark. Shoots a 68, just finished. Justin Rose has just birdied 9. He drops to 3 under par. And Kurt Kitayama has parred the first 3 holes. He remains at 3 under par as well.
Now, what about the Canadians?
Nick Taylor was 1 under yesterday.
Okay.
He has yet to tee off.
Yep.
The latest we had on Corey Connors, he was 3 over. He is now at 2 over, playing 13.
Oh, okay.
So he has gained 1 stroke back.
What do you think the cut's going to be?
You know what? I don't see anything yet. Projected cut, possibly 4? No. Could be 4 over.
Yeah.
Ballpark.
Yeah, that'd be fair. I could see that.
4 over plus 5. I don't think it's going to get to plus 5. So
Okay.
4 over. I said plus 4. How's that sound?
Okay, I'm good with that. And winning score, winning total. What do you think? Where's
Duke
gonna
had
be?
it on in or out.
Oh.
So he says it was minus 11, correct, Duke, is what you had for in or out?
Yep.
Last year's winner was, Rory was minus 11. I said it's going to be bang on 11 under.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Because they did the averages over the last, I forget how many years, and it was 11.5.
Yeah.
So
Duke in or out said it would be lower. Eddie Steele thought it's going to be minus 16 or 17.
Well, if you could predict the
It said
weather.
15. Said 15.
Yeah, I mean, if they're playing in these kind of conditions, but I mean, if the wind gets going or, they get some heavy rain, I mean, everything changes. There.
Mhm.
Look at how wide open that is. Holy smoke.
Ashley Meyer texts in here, Gary. Good morning. Great first show of golfing with the G-Man of the year today. Looking forward to listening for the next 6 months.
Yeah, she'll be all, and this girl has a memory that is, I mean, she reminds me of whose birthday it is, whose anniversary, how old everybody is. Yeah, remarkable.
Thanks
and her,
to
and her
sorry.
dad, he couldn't hit a mule in the ass with a banjo, but
A bull in the ass with a scoop shovel full of wheat.
that's true. Yeah.
Mark just texted in and he took a screenshot and says, looks like the projected cut is plus 4. Thanks, Mark.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Who do you, did you have someone at
Look at
Speeder again? Missed another one.
Dead in the heart.
Jordan Spieth still at minus 1.
Yeah.
He has parred every hole except for the first hole today, I believe. He birdied 1, I believe, and then has parred everything else.
John Makovic. We were Daryl McDonald and I. We were playing in the Jamaica Open. So we're in Kingston, we're in Kingston. We go to this Caymanas golf course for the practice round, and we're playing with John, and he's a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
And first couple of holes, he leaves these putts short, and his caddy says to him, "Come on, man, you got to roll it. Hit it. Give it a good roll." Well, the next hole he leaves it short, and the caddy says once again, "Man, they're slow. You got to roll it. Roll it." He gets to the 6th hole. He leaves it short. The caddy yells at him, "You're nothing but a great big coward, man. You're a big coward."
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the caddies. Oh, it was something else. The caddies were smoking. Open. Oh,
Well, of course they were.
Oh.
From our email, I got an email from Earl Stubbs yesterday.
Earl Stubbs.
Earl Stubbs. And he says, "Good morning, Kevin. Listen to the show a lot. Just a quick question. Have you ever tried the golf course called Wooden Sticks in Uxbridge, Ontario on your travels? It was owned at the start with 3 hockey players." He says, "If I'm not mistaken, Joe Nieuwendyk from Calgary was one of them. I'm pretty sure. They have taken about 10 holes from PGA courses, including the Island Green at TPC, and then a few holes from St. Andrews. Now, I don't know a whole lot about this course. Does it ring a bell? And Wooden Sticks makes sense because of
sure.
NHL guys owning it.
No, but I'll tell you what, if we talk to Gary Ward, he would certainly know.
Sure.
Or even any idea where Al ended up? AC.
So he left Hamilton?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I found that out not that long ago.
Just host the Canadian Open and then leave.
Yeah, well, that's right. Well, he didn't win it, so maybe he just decided.
Thought he would play probably too.
Yeah. Well, that goes back. So this years ago, when Henry Martel retired from Highlands, he'd been there for, I think, 114 years. And so one of the gifts they gave him was tickets to the British Open for him and his wife. And the next thing we hear is that Henry has sold the gift. And he said, "Well, if I'm not playing, I'm not going." And Henry was in his 80s. Boy, he could play.
That reminds me of the story when we had Craig Ludwig on, and I was actually on part of his show. We had Craig's partner on, Duke. I'm forgetting his name. Pardon me?
Nessler, Newkirk, Devine.
Anyway, he was a guy from Dallas. He works with Ludwig.
J.R. Ewing.
Yeah. J.R. Ewing. And the Hockey Hall of Fame phoned Ludwig and said, "Hey, Craig, we want your shin pads." Because you remember he had those bowed out shin pads.
Oh, yeah.
They blocked every shot, right? They were
Sure.
the size of goal pads. And they said to him, "Craig, we want your shin pads for the Hockey Hall of Fame." He says, "For sure, but I'm coming with them."
Good for him.
Yeah. So what's on the go for you this weekend, Garrett? Watching a little Masters?
Yeah, a little bit of that. I'm going to watch my grandson play a little competitive badminton out in Ardrossan. His school, he's at Clover Bar. He's going to make the move to high school next year. He's 14. I figure by the time he's 18, I'm going to have about $1.6 million invested in this kid. Stuff. Because you got to have stuff.
Greg from Spruce Grove texts in, "Hey guys, love the show. We used to work construction with a guy. His nose was so big he could smoke a cigarette in the shower." Hoagie from Spruce Grove.
I like that.
Well, enjoy the Masters. Have you got, I know where the leaderboard is now, but have you got a winner, you think, or what do you?
Well, it's tough to go against Rory this year, I think, but I have been wrong before. Where I'm in the draft, the art new draft.
Yeah, already.
And I think there's like 95 guys in this draft. So you win it, and you could buy a new house and retire. So
out at Trestle Creek.
Yeah, well, and Al LG won it last year. And then he was in a basketball pool, and he won that too.
I have to mention too that our buddy Ken Wicks texted me.
Wixie.
And I believe he texted you as well.
Oh.
And he's got some great lines, but I think I got to save them for the Terry O'Flynn, the toast of the town.
Oh, good for him.
I was going to say them, but I'm going to use them for the TOTT. Because they're clean. They're good. They're okay.
Kenny Wicks is a great guy, and he's sharp. He can be really dry, but nice guy for sure.
We'll have a wonderful weekend, Gary, and we'll see you next Friday. We'll have a guest on next Friday. And it's going to be Duke.
Ted? No. No, wait, line.
That bear.
Oh, the bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark Wahlberg, is he going to be there too?
Tim Garbett.
Oh, Tim Garbett. Okay.
Oh, Timmy Garbett.
Okay.
Is he still out in Saskatoon?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought
I don't
it was
know.
at Saskatoon Blades.
ATB Classic coming up, and I believe tickets go on sale next week, so he's going to be in
Oh,
studio.
okay. Different Garbett.
Tim Garbett. Yeah. You know Tim Garbett.
Yeah. Okay.
Good stuff.
Gord Garbett was who I was thinking of.
Do you want to? Maybe we should run down the scores so far again at the Masters with Wyndham Clark.
Go ahead. Let's run.
No, it's enough.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Gary. We'll see you next.
Well,
Friday.
it's great to be back, guys. Good to see both of the high-tech machine operators behind us, and of course, always a treat, Kevin. Always a treat.
You look well. We'll see you next Friday. Well, we're going to see you twice next Friday.
That's right.
Right. We'll see you here.
Well,
and
you
then
can't get enough
goes
of
to
good
the
things.
Oh man, no kidding. That's golfing with the G-Man for the Country Club Tour. Again, the PXG Fitting Day is April the 18th. It's at the Indoor Golf Center from 11 to 5. They got the all new Lightning drivers, fairways, woods, the hybrids, and the Gen 8 irons. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Rochette T-Bird,
Connor Halley, and the Duke of Delburne. At 12 o'clock, it's the Lowdown with Alan Mitchell. 2 till 6, Jason Greger drives us home with the Jason Greger Show. I guess we'll have Blue Jays baseball to follow. And then tomorrow, we'll have the Triple S. Josh Fenwick is in. Max in. We'll have Hoop City to follow at 10 bells till 12. And then I would imagine we'll get close to where we'll have the pregame show for the Oilers as they drop the puck with the LA Kings tomorrow at 2 p.m. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you are thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. Hey, thanks for listening, everyone. Really appreciate it. Could not do this show without our great listeners and texters. Thanks for coming on board every day. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday morning with Eddie Steele. Until then, here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Round number 2 at the Masters from Augusta National in Georgia. Well underway. Sam Burns just starting hole 1 in the books. He's still tied atop the leaderboard with Rory McIlroy at 5 under. Wyndham Clark, the big mover on the day so far. He's 4 under through 17 to move into 3rd place. And high Canadian so far, still Nick Taylor. He's just getting underway as well. 1 under, good for T13. Full slate of games across the majors, all 30 teams in action, including the Blue Jays opening a set against the Twins from Toronto. First pitch just after 5 o'clock from Rogers Center. It was Simeon, Woods Richardson from Minnesota, Patrick Corbin making his debut as a Toronto Blue Jay on the hill. Elsewhere, Tigers hosting the Marlins. Cubbies and Pirates get going just after 12 o'clock noon. Yankees are in Tampa. Orioles hosting the Giants, and Boston is in St. Louis. In the association, all 30 teams in action there as well, including the Raptors' second half of a back-to-back. They're in New York taking on the Knicks from MSG. Tip-off there just after 5:30. Elsewhere, Spurs hosting Mavericks. OKC is in Denver. Houston taking on Minnesota. And Golden State in Sacramento against the Kings. Finally, playoff action on the junior hockey scene. Sherwood Parker Satyrs look to punch their ticket through to the next round when they take on Black Falls tonight down at the Eagle Builder Center. Puck drop just after 7 o'clock. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brandon Douglas at your